It's all good.
Going live. Hey, we're live. Welcome to Brap Podcast number 70. The big 70. That's crazy. So we are expecting B Money to be joining us shortly. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I told John this earlier. So real quick. So it's my daughter's. My daughter turned 1 today.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
I got about 13. I got about 15 more years before I have to go out and buy a shotgun. But yeah, we went out and oh my god, dude, I just stuffed my face. We ate so much. It was crazy. I'm so full right now. So if I fall asleep, it's not because you gentlemen are boring. It's just that I overate. So and
some, baby back ribs.
Nah, dude, I didn't have any ribs, man. We had some Italian food, but of course I was throwing out a couple IPAs, washing it down. Woof.
Nice, man.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm feeling like Biggie Smalls right now. I don't look like him. But I feel like it.
You're not breathing like him either.
Oh shit!
Did you say her?
Not breathing like him.
No, I'm a.
Well, I mean, Biggie Smalls isn't breathing at all, so.
Yeah, that's true. Shout out to Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
That was maybe too cold. But
Yeah, cold-blooded.
No, John said too soon.
Yeah, well, we can't say too soon. It's been like 20 years.
Too soon.
The thing we can't say too soon. It's been 20 years. So.
Yeah, 20 years. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about, gentlemen, tonight. We got a lot of gaming news. We have frame rate gate. We have some Destiny 2 details that dropped last week. We have Cliffy B who's in the news.
I thought you were going to say we have Cliffy B on the podcast. I was like, where?
Can you imagine if Cliffy B just dropped in here? It's like, what the fuck's up, guys?
Yeah, we could tell him that. We could tell him how irrelevant he is.
We could tell him he's what is it, washed out or?
Do you want to start with? Hey, Ricky, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the whole Lawbreakers thing? Since we're talking about Cliffy. Where do you want to start?
We'll tell you what. Let's. I want to talk about what everyone's playing first. Why don't we do that? Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go with the Lawbreakers thing. You're right. We're talking about Cliffy B. We'll get that. Hey, what's up, B Money? Oh, B Money just dropped.
Oh.
B Money heard Cliffy B and he just left.
Yeah, he like fucked us up.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to talk about Cliffy B. I think B Money met him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think he actually met him.
He's actually talked to him.
Yeah, he met him in person. I know B Money was at. Did he go to Epic?
I've heard he's kind of an insufferable prick.
I've heard that too. I know Southbound met him at like the Game Awards or whatever. Said he was pretty cool. But yeah, I've heard that. The guy drives a fucking Lamborghini, nice house.
Got a banging wife.
His wife is. Yeah, she's like young too. She's like 22.
Yeah, she's pretty young.
Yeah, that's I'm exaggerating her age, by the way, but she's definitely younger than him. Cliffy B's like in his 40s, I think, early 40s.
I was gonna say, man, she's 22. That's like how old was she when they got married? Like, you've been married for some years now, right?
Yeah, Cliffy B's like, oh, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. That would have been inappropriate.
She was in diapers when Gears of War the first one came out.
He walked up and was like, "Yeah, I'm Cliffy B. Ever heard of Unreal Tournament?" She's like, "Nope."
Nope. No, I have not.
Yeah. By the way, I did hear a couple of people say, "Oh, he's famous only for Gears." I'm like, Unreal, hello? Like he was part of that, like there was another obscure game that he made that came out like in the mid '90s. I forget.
Jazz Jackrabbit or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think you're right, Eric. Something Rabbit, yeah, but and that was before Unreal. Yeah, why don't we get into Lawbreakers? So, as many of you already know, because this has been talked about to death. Lawbreakers. Cliffy B announced that Lawbreakers will be making its way to console, but only on the PlayStation 4. And originally, this game was supposed to be a PC only game. I think even Cliffy B had said at one point, like the game was like so fast it couldn't even run like on a console or something like that, and that's why it was PC only.
Mm-hmm. And yet here we are.
Yeah,
right, because developers very often and fluently speak out of their assholes.
This is true.
My game is it's too much for consoles. Consoles can't handle it.
Yeah, like the foundation
Shit
of
is so advanced.
Yeah, foundation of gaming, like in general, is backtracking and walking things back.
It's like, not to get too off top of it, it's like Luke Smith for Destiny 2 saying the PS4 Pro just couldn't run Destiny 2 at 60 frames a second. There's not enough juice in the Digital Foundry's like, you're full of shit.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll get to that because that was an interesting read on Digital Foundry or Eurogamer. Yeah, so you're right, John. Here we are, and lo and behold, Lawbreakers is making its way to the PlayStation 4. And what's interesting is, and I guess obviously what all the hubbub is about is that it's not on the Xbox. At least not right now. It isn't. I mean, he was on Reddit. He said it's not off the table. Like it could still potentially come to the Xbox One. But for all intents and purposes, it's console exclusive on the PlayStation 4. I don't think.
Who cares if it doesn't?
What's that?
Who cares if it doesn't? It's fucking Lawbreakers.
Yeah, no, well, but what's interesting though is, I think it's another, and this is kind of like my.
I'm sorry, Enrique. I don't mean to interrupt you, but apparently there's a murder going on in somebody's house right now.
Yo, man, I swear my daughter could be like Siren from the X-Men or Banshee.
She's Banshee.
I was just like Jason Voorhees. Jason Voorhees has arrived in somebody's home on Basement Video Podcast.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that it get picked up on mic. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about Friday the 13th, which comes out this Friday.
Yeah. She could audition.
Oh shit. But here's my thing about Lawbreakers, right? Like, and I mentioned this before the podcast started. For anybody who's listening, the funniest thing about Lawbreakers to me is that when it was announced as a PS4 console exclusive, I mean, obviously it's coming out on PC, there were different, equally stupid and insane reactions on either side of the fence, right? So like the Xbox fans, and the fanboys, we're like, Cliffy B's washed up. He's a fucking has-been. He doesn't know what he's doing. Anybody want to play some Gears? And I'm like, okay. And then on the PS4 side, people were like, yeah, motherfuckers, we got Lawbreakers, bitch. And I'm like, what? Why? What the fuck are you bragging about? Like, it's a fucking $30 arena shooter that is going to get murdered by Overwatch. It is going to get murdered by Overwatch. Releasing an arena shooter in the age of Overwatch is like releasing an MMO at the height of World of Warcraft's popularity. It's not a good idea. And I understand this game has been in development for years, but nobody who is into Overwatch is going to stop playing Overwatch to go play Lawbreakers. It's just not going to happen. I don't see this game having legs at all. I mean, it's a $30 digital only game, and people on the PS4 side are acting like they just fucking scored Battlefront 2 as an exclusive. I don't get it. I don't fucking understand it. And 90% of the people touting this on Twitter and social media will never fucking play the thing. I mean, like, for example, like, that what's his name? That JTech TV guy? That fucking idiot.
Mm.
The other day, I saw him. I don't follow him, but somebody directed me towards a tweet he had made. And he literally says, this year, bitches, we got God of War, we got fucking, we got God of War, we got Horizon, we got Gran Turismo and Lawbreakers, baby. I'm like, hold on a minute. Are you seriously putting Lawbreakers in the same paragraph as God of War, Gran Turismo, and Horizon Zero Dawn? Did you really just do that? Like, that is to put Lawbreakers. And again, full disclosure, I have seen the game. I saw the game at PAX. I have not played the game, so full disclosure. What I saw, it looks like a fucking arena shooter with some weird, gravity mechanics. But to put Lawbreakers in the same vein as a game like God of War or Gran Turismo requires a suspension of disbelief my brain can't handle. And I once saw a movie about a ragtag team of oil drillers landing on an asteroid.
Oh boy!
I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't. So that's my thoughts on that.
It's because you don't base yourself and bring yourself down to the level of a list warrior.
Exactly.
It's been a bad week for fanboys.
And that's hard to say because there's some championship weeks.
Oh my. Some
You know?
championship weeks.
Yeah, I mean, some dudes can go first round at the draft for like defense, man, because they like some serious like damage control and defense and accusations being thrown around.
When is the game releasing? When is Lawbreakers releasing?
I couldn't even tell you. That's the funny part.
Yeah, I can't tell you either. I don't even know.
Because I know it's coming this year. I believe it's coming this year. I mean, if this game comes anytime after August, like you want to talk, it's done. It's done. I mean, it's like Sea of Thieves, right? Like I fervently believe that Sea of Thieves is going to probably be a decent game that will sell like absolute dog shit. And I put Lawbreakers in the Lawbreakers is going to be PS4 Sea of Thieves. It's going to be it's going to be an adequate game that is going to sell like total garbage.
And honestly, if they were smart, they would definitely move Sea of Thieves into like 2018. Unless it's coming out like immediately after E3.
Or release it in the summer.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you don't want to put that out in the fall.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
according to all the Xbox fanboys, that's Microsoft, they don't put any games out in the beginning of the year. Everything comes in the fall because they still think it's like 2006. You know?
Yeah.
You got to get those holiday dollars. Yeah, okay. Well, you want to go up against, the big dogs? Go ahead and do that. Or keep doing that. Whereas, it seems like, Sony's taking advantage of those early parts of the year where a game can have time to breathe and find an audience. And then, there's only certain games that can probably drop in the fall and actually do something.
Yeah, and those games are Destiny and Call of Duty and anything by Rockstar.
Pretty much.
Aside from that, you don't have a fucking prayer. That's why Dishonored 2 and Titanfall 2, both fantastic, wonderful games that were serious contenders for Game of the Year last year. That's where they both underperformed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 is a shame.
Get sequels to those games, and it infuriates me to no end because I don't blame the game. I blame the fucking publisher for that.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stand. There is nothing that pisses me off more than a good game getting sent out to die. But that's not the topic. The topic is Lawbreakers. And I don't think Lawbreakers is going to be as good as any of those games I just mentioned.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't get the chest thumping over this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it was more of a, for me hearing the announcement, it was kind of first it was surprising to me to hear that it wasn't going to Xbox One, giving Cliffy B's relationship in the past.
That to me is the bigger story.
And actually, we were talking about this. I was talking about this with B Money, and B Money actually went down to Epic, and actually I think he did meet Cliffy B, I believe. But there's some underlying issues there. There's some things that actually happened with Microsoft and Epic that didn't really necessarily rub him the right way, and maybe perhaps that's why why he's not bringing this game right away to the Xbox One console, because of what happened in the past at Epic. So, but the other thing too, I think it's also surprising, John, that and Eric and I've talked about this. I mean, this is another game that's not, for whatever reason, is not coming to the Xbox One right away. And I mean, we just found out that what's Devolver Digital's new game that's coming out. What's the name of it? Is it Absolver?
Absolver. That's not coming to Xbox either.
Yeah, we just found out last week.
That's actually a good game. We played that at PAX. That's actually a really good game.
Yeah. So so for me, like hearing this news is like, oh my god, like why is it here we are again with another game that from what we know, I mean, Sony doesn't have any kind of like marketing, or it's not like a timed exclusive or anything like that. It's just not coming to the Xbox for whatever reason. That to me surprising. Like, it's like, why is this keep happening? It almost seems like it keeps happening to the Xbox.
Well, I mean, it's and it's especially surprising with Devolver, considering Phil Spencer's player games as opposed to single player story driven games, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about games like Lawbreakers and Absolver, games that I mean, those fit the mold of what Xbox, by Phil Spencer's own words, are is going for now. So that to me is very, very surprising.
Actually, Nels Coney, the chat says the next Machina won't be on the Xbox One either.
What one?
Oh, that's from
Oh, for, talking about the Housemarque game? That doesn't
Housemarque,
surprise me.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't think
Well,
Housemarque, have they had games on the Xbox before? I don't think they have, right?
They haven't, and I don't expect they ever would.
Interesting.
Well, they have a really good relationship with Sony, right?
They do. They're not owned by Sony, but they are. I mean, they might as well be. Yeah, that's one of those things where I don't ever see them actually putting a game on a Microsoft platform. I don't see that happening. It'd be nice too because they are a legit game dev. They make some great shit. Although I take that back. Was Dead Nation on Xbox?
I don't think it was, man.
No,
I never heard that
It
one.
wasn't. Okay, all right. Well, I guess not then. Fastback, you're an Xbox guy, right?
Yeah, I have been. But I do have I just got a PS4 and a Switch.
He's a filthy neutral
So,
now.
yeah, I'm a real neutral now. But I've always wanted to get a PS4 and it just Horizon Zero Dawn is the one that did it for me. No Man's Sky was the one that was going to do it for me, but it was Horizon Zero Dawn, and right now I'm playing Uncharted 4 and I'm just loving that. So,
welcome to the Pony Express.
Oh yeah.
But that's an interesting thing. You know, you just said like there are a few games that you saw that pulled you in. You know, and people kind of downplay that whole thing. You know, they say like, you know, well, this system doesn't have a game. This system does. You know, single player experiences aren't really the thing anymore. Everything's multiplayer, whatever. But you just said yourself that there were, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn is a game that you saw. And you're like, as a gamer, I gotta play it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's not to go off on a tangent, but I think that's kind of the thing that concerns people when they hear, you know, Phil say certain things or they don't see certain things coming to the Xbox or whatever the case may be. What's bringing people into that ecosystem? And you can't just tell me that it's services and updates.
No.
You know.
No, I enjoyed playing on the 360. You know, Halo brought me into the Xbox originally, and I've enjoyed the games on the 360 and the ecosystem, the live Xbox Live, and playing with friends. And you know, I stuck with it when Xbox One came out, and you know, I played pretty much the main games that came out on Xbox, and I've enjoyed them. But I will admit that they have not resonated with gamers and the masses, like, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn and some of the JRPGs that are on the PS4. Right. It is what it is. So, you know, if you're going to sit there and fanboy, you're losing out. It doesn't make sense. But with the Lawbreakers, I think part of it, Xbox could be their strategy as far as, especially this year with the Scorpio coming out. And also, they're going to have to bring some games going into 18. So I don't think they're going to sit there and spend all kinds of money. So it probably came down to money. So whatever Cliffy B was wanting, they weren't willing to put up that money like Sony. Sony's, they're just buying. They're spending that money.
That's an interesting thing.
Sony's dying, man. They got no money. They're broke.
Yeah.
and exactly, John. That's what I wanted to touch on. It's funny that Fastback says that because all you hear from fanboys is Microsoft open up the purse strings. You know, they could buy and sell like everybody if they want.
No, but I do believe that, you know how like last gen, the PS3 struggled. So they had to turn things around, and they had to come out and develop some good games. You know, like Last of Us. I'm not big on all the games that came out, but they came out with some good storytelling games right there towards the end, and then coming into, the PS4, and that helped them. So this Xbox has to do that now. They need to come up with some games that are going to resonate, and they're going to sell consoles, and and go on from here. And we'll find out here at E3.
And that's something I would like to know when it comes to Lawbreakers, like because the feeling is they sat down with Cliffy B, or they were in a room with him, or he met with whoever, Sony, Microsoft, whatever the case may be, to talk about bringing this game to the console side, right? So is it one of those things where Sony's like, yeah, hey, you're an arena shooter. There are a lot of those, but look, let's roll. And then was it Microsoft sort of saying like, we don't want to spend that kind of money on it, or we don't see the value in it. But again, that's a legit question that people have been asking all week. Like, well, what is it? Because this seems like the perfect type of game that you can possibly use to showcase some Scorpio stuff. It kind of sounds like they could push that in a 4K 60, throwing up the air quotes, but it kind of seems like something that you would want to align with, especially given the relationship that you've had with Cliffy in the past.
Yeah.
So what was the disconnect? Because again, Microsoft's supposed to have all the dough, and they can throw however much money they want. They can buy and sell Nintendo over 3 times over. They can buy, according to the fanboys. So what's the disconnect there?
I think Phil's got a different strategy, and it's not throwing money at third-party deals right now. I think he's trying to develop his first party, whatever he has, or and that's not their strategy right now.
Yeah, he has said on record.
Yeah, and I saw Lawbreakers at PAX South, and it looks good. I mean, and I've watched a couple other videos. It looks good. It's fast paced. Not a game for me, but I saw some of the mechanics. I thought they're innovative, a little bit different. But yeah, it's not going to be an Overwatch killer. No, but it might garner a little following. Depends on how it comes out, how it plays. So, but I'm sure eventually it'll come to Xbox.
I don't know much about the game because, I don't run in PC circles and I've not been to any shows to see it. But is it really that much like Overwatch, or is it wildly different in a way?
I've heard it's not
similar to Overwatch in the sense that it's an arena shooter, but it's got some crazy gravity.
Yeah, some gravity rope, right? That there's a rope on one of the characters.
It's got zero gravity stuff, and it's fine. I've talked to people who have played it, and I've seen it being played, and it's whatever. It's fun.
Hey, what's up, B Money?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, B?
What's going on, B?
So B, tell us about. We're talking about Lawbreakers, man. Not be on the Xbox One. Give us your thoughts and tell us about you were at Epic where you had some conversations.
No, I mean I talked to a lot of people that used to work at Epic just because I was super heavy into the Gears franchise early on. When it first released. But as far as Lawbreakers is concerned, the game coming to consoles. People made a big deal about it because it came to one console, not the other. If it would have went the other way, it would have been the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Different group of fanboys arguing about it. I think they made the choice to go with PlayStation because of the bigger audience. 60 million versus about 30 million or so. You kind of got to weigh options. And they are a smaller team. Cliffy B is pretty transparent about his team and how they kind of come along. So you can pretty much know everybody on his team because he's done a lot of videos on Twitter and on YouTube and stuff, doing live streams, and where they're just at his house chilling. And they're working on the game, playing the game, play testing and stuff like that. So they don't have 300-man team or anything like that, like Call of Duty or Battlefield team would have. So they got to make their choices smart at the beginning, and once it becomes profitable, then they can look at other platforms and take their game there. So but in regards to Epic, and a lot of people are like, oh well, he's turning his back on Microsoft and on the fanboys who are the fans that supported him from the beginning. It's people don't notice, but towards the end of the Gears franchise, the first 3 games, the Gears trilogy, Microsoft wanted to be heavily, they wanted to put some influence on the franchise, along with some other things that are going on at Epic. We know that Epic really isn't making games right now, at least any notable ones. Sold off their biggest franchise and aren't really doing much of anything right now besides, letting everybody use their engine. But, there's a little bit of rumblings, and it wasn't too much bad blood, but there was definitely a little bit of tension there. And, that could have been held over. A lot of people don't know, B went through, somewhat of a depression after he left. I mean, he was almost kind of done with making video games, and a lot of people were super surprised that he actually came back and with his own studio and making a new game, because he didn't have the love for it or the passion for making games anymore. And I'm just glad he's back. So
you don't think he's washed up then, B Money?
no, not at all. I mean, for me, Cliffy made one of the best shooter games of his time. Revolutionized. A third-person shooter. A lot of people got into third-person shooters again because of Gears. So, and you've seen a lot of people copycat a lot of stuff that Gears did. So, people say he's washed up, or they don't want to play his crappy-ass games, but you play Gears. Like, why are you trying to throw shots, man? It makes no sense.
Right.
Because it's on one plastic box and not on another plastic box.
Yeah, if it came to both, then nobody, would be in a hoopla. Wouldn't be a big deal. But because it came to one, not the other, everybody's got to, raise their pitchforks and the firebomb's ready. So
yeah. Like B, I was telling the guys earlier. For me, and not because I'm a pony or anything like that. For me, it was more surprising because one, Cliffy B's been, at least from a console perspective, associated with Microsoft for such a long time, and two, this is for whatever reason, this game, and I know you brought up a good point. There's that 2-to-1 ratio. 60 million consoles out there to 30 million. I mean, it's not hard to figure which, if you're a small team and you have a limited budget, where you're gonna release your game. What platform you're gonna release your game on. But for me, it was kind of surprising because I was like, okay, well, here's another game that's not making its way to, at least right now, to the Xbox One console. We just found out that Devolver Digital's new game, Absolver's not coming to Xbox One now. We know about Nier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not coming to Xbox One. We know about Nier. Nier was, I think, in the beginning, there was a maybe they talked about it potentially coming to Xbox, and now they're saying
they said if it did well, it would. And from what we heard, I thought Nier was doing pretty well. So I would think that it would eventually come, but I guess they kind of said, well, Square has to kind of give us a green light.
Yeah, what were you saying, John?
So I'd like it to. More people need to play that game. It's a great game.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think on that too, like Square Enix, like that game. Like I understand games, especially if they're a small developer, they're going to choose the like PS4 because it has a big base, and I can understand that. But the developers who have a bigger team, why not put it out on both consoles? You might get maybe an extra $1 million. I know Xbox is not big on the JRPGs, but wouldn't it help to get a little bit extra money? I don't understand it. Or is it Xbox? They're not pushing. They're not, trying to get them and to come over.
I brought that up a while ago. Like if you just look at games that Bandai Namco releases, or even Square Enix, a lot of the games could be multi-plat games.
Yeah,
couldn't be PlayStation only games. So
I think a lot of this is because, with the exception of games like Final Fantasy, I don't know why this is, but JRPGs just, one, don't sell on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Two, which I think is the bigger issue, is that Square Enix, being a primarily Japanese company, the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4 sell fine in Japan. Well, the consoles aren't what they used to be in Japan, but compared to the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 is selling, I think it's like 30-to-1. It's insane how much more it's selling in Japan. So
yeah,
so it does not surprise me one bit that these games are not being brought to the Xbox One, because the PlayStation 4 is absolutely the priority. And for most Japanese companies, not all, but most, the Xbox One is an afterthought.
Yeah.
And
I can understand
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But we look at the 360 early on, they seem like they were getting some decent support. from Japanese developers.
But I think Microsoft threw the money at these people back then because they needed that 360 to, the OG Xbox started out, it was behind, but they needed that 360 to get the big step. That's why they came out a year ahead. So they threw money out, and then that's not what they're doing now. So,
yeah, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think over time as it became more and more known as like the shooter box, and that seems to be what people came in for. It's like, I almost think too, in a way, Microsoft got to a point where they were kind of like, we don't really need it.
Yep,
we're doing well with
so.
Exactly. So we don't really need, the JRPGs and this and this and that. They never continue to foster and try to build those relationships, and also keep those fans that kind of wanted that and were getting that with the early 360 there. Because once, PS3 dropped and it started to get its footing again after that year, and then after the stumble, it took them a little while to start getting their footing again. But once they did, they started fostering those fans, and I think, Microsoft lost a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because they went the way of Kinect and trying to come up with all these gimmick games.
Right.
Yeah, the decisions that they made. This is why, they had to do a 180 this gen.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. And now it's like they're trying to go back and start to foster those relationships, and that's a hell of a hill to try to climb right now.
Yeah.
Because like we were saying a moment ago, it's like almost like Sony gets a lot of them by default. A lot of them they're not even exclusive, but they're perceived exclusive.
That's what I'm saying. That's why like this whole Lawbreakers thing was so like surprised me. I'm like, I just felt like, oh my god, here we go again. Here's another game that's not going to come for whatever reason. Obviously the reason probably what you mentioned be the 60 million, 30 million, but even like games like smaller indie studios, there's games that aren't coming, and I know there's games that smaller titles on Xbox that aren't on PlayStation, but still, I mean, like, how long was Rocket League, on PlayStation 4 as an exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
It's been said before, but I mean, I think a large part of this is just that there are so many more PlayStation 4s as opposed to Xbox Ones. I mean, so market. It's the reason that last generation, the 360 being the market leader, you saw more reviews on Metacritic for Xbox 360 games than you did for PS4 games, even though they were on the same console. The lead platform for reviews was the Xbox 360, and now, of course, things have changed. And again, people like to use this as fodder for the console war, when in reality, it's just simple economics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, in the end, it could
economics. What is that?
but Xbox coming out the way they did, this could lead to good things. We could get some good games, just like we got from Sony coming into this gen and going on. So, there's no need for console wars because hopefully in the end we'll be sitting pretty good.
Oh, unfortunately, there's always going to be a need for console wars.
Yeah, that stuff's not going away.
That's the number one game right there.
It's the dawn of time from consoles. Yeah, I just feel like, I'm sorry, Eric, let me just
go ahead.
Say something real quick. I guess for me, like I've been playing on Xbox since the days of the OG Xbox, and I've said this before, even on this show, I even feel like the OG Xbox is a better console than the Xbox One in terms of just content. And I felt like they were taking more chances back then. They're definitely more aggressive. They didn't have an installed user base. I mean, they were going up against the behemoth of the PlayStation 2 at the time, but they were still getting some like decent content. I mean, essentially they were kind of like the Dreamcast, 1.5. They're getting a lot of those great Sega games. But I said this to you, Eric. They got fucking Ninja Gaiden as an exclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, that was huge.
Yeah.
Huge when that happened.
I think Peter Moore had a lot to do with some of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he absolutely did. I mean, he had
Peter said he took it personal, like what happened with the Dreamcast, and his sole purpose was to really bring it to Sony. And you could tell, because when you first heard that Microsoft was going to get into the console space, people laughed it off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really, what's that going to be like? And then they really came in and made some noise, a lot of noise. You know what I'm saying?
We're not gonna take it.
But no, you're right. It really was, and for all intents and purposes, it was like the continuation of what the Dreamcast was trying to do. was kind of moving through the Xbox. And then those early days of 360, like even up until the middle of the 360's life, I mean, they had a really diverse portfolio of stuff. And then all of a sudden at the end, it became more about the marketing deal and more about, fostering Gears and Halo and COD. And they really, in a lot of ways, they stopped bringing like new titles and exclusives and some of those peripheral type of titles that, people that kind of fill out and round out your portfolio, where it seems right now, Sony, yeah, they're doing marketing deals, but they're still rounding out their portfolio. Sony very much, they will take a chance on a game that may not sell very well. Yeah, right?
either someone just rage quit or someone just fell. I know John's playing Injustice too. John, are you all right?
I just threw my fucking controller.
Is that what that was?
That's exactly what that was.
That was a good call. That was a good call, Enrique.
I was like, either Eric fell because he got that squeaky chair, or like John just rage quit. That's what it was.
I just threw the shit out of this fucking thing.
Dude, hope that wasn't.
You get Lawbreakers on PS4. Don't worry about it. Be all right.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this much. What's that? What was what noise?
You all right?
Oh, man, you're scaring everybody in the house.
Control that loud.
Yeah, no, it sounded louder than it really was.
It sounded loud.
Yeah.
John.
The dog, we were both looking for the gunshot.
My wife, she's like, what the hell was
It
that?
scared the shit out of the animals and me.
Sorry.
It sounded louder.
To be fair, it's game to be cute.
It sounded louder.
It sounded louder than I actually threw it. I only threw it with like 50% power.
Don't throw the controller at all.
But the controller deserved it, to be fair. I'm just being honest. It gave me a look, and I think I heard it utter some kind of anti-Semitic remark, so I threw it. Okay. All right.
What was that? Was that at the door?
Yeah, that was my wife shutting the door.
Oh shit! She's like, don't throw the control anymore. Hear the shit out of the dogs.
Oh, this control can't. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's too funny. Yes, so on BRAP, you can hear people rage quit.
This game is really fucking pissed me off right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's no bueno.
This is fucking. So there are a couple of characters in Injustice that are absolutely broken. I mean, it's a great fighting game, but it's not without criticism. And one of those criticisms is that some of these characters are incredibly fucking broken.
Yeah, I refuse to pick up another real game at release. I'll just wait for it to put all the characters in there, then I can give them my $60.
That's exactly what I said, B. I was like, I'll be waiting for that X version that they always like to drop on.
Yeah, I'll wait till the XL version drops, man.
Yeah.
Then I'll hop in there.
Well, buddy, you're getting Tekken 7. That's coming out this week, isn't it? Friday? Or is that next week?
June 2nd.
Oh,
June 2nd. Cannot wait.
Next week.
Cannot wait.
Nice.
Both consoles, so whoever wants that work, man.
Come get that. Come get those
Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. I want to see. I want to address something in chat. Okay, so Arger. I don't know who Arger is. Yeah.
I just told him to relax and enjoy the show.
Good to see you're free of dumb Xbox tonight. Okay, so I can only assume, Arger, that you're talking about Sam. As in our good friend Sam.
Don't crazy about Sam, man.
Sam is a member of this podcast. He's a good, reasonable dude.
Yep.
And he's not a fanboy. He's not an Xbox. That's bullshit. Please do me a favor. Don't bring that trash here. Okay. This chat is not for fanboyism. All right. Now there's this podcast, so appreciate that.
Yeah.
I totally missed that.
Yeah, I just saw him say the Xbox thing. Yeah, but I did see him say something about Nels Coney said something to him, and he said, "Good to see the direction on the cast." I'm just telling him to relax, enjoy the show. But
Okay.
yeah, if you're gonna bash one of the co-hosts, who's not a bot, by the way, you're not gonna be welcomed here. So you've been warned. You've been warned.
Far from a bot.
Yeah. So B Money, you taking all challengers then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
He's like, come get me, ladies' hands on it.
Practicing, getting ready, man. And I'm ready to go. I've been watching all the videos. The story looks like it's going to be pretty dope. We're getting a couple of new characters that haven't been in the game before, so that's always great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to go, man.
Nice.
It's not too many fighting games I get hyped up about, but Tekken is definitely one of them.
Nice. Hey, speaking of Xbox, real quick, I just want to go back to something Xbox related. Xbox Game Pass is available now for 14-day free trial for Xbox Live Gold members.
Yep.
Anybody trying it out?
I'm gonna look into it because I want to see what it's all about, see what's on offer there, because I'm gonna actually pass that information on to my sister-in-law for her son, because that's like perfect for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, it's got some decent games to start off with. A few there that I haven't played. So
yeah, it won't be something for me like right away unless they really start adding, different types of titles like some real depth. But there's a lot of it. I'm pretty sure I'm probably own most of it.
Yeah, a lot of 360 games in there.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's definitely got a nice list. I mean, it
does.
You got Gears of War Ultimate Edition. You have
Halo 5,
Assault, Halo 5.
You got BioShock Infinite.
Yep, BioShock Infinite. You have D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. You have NBA 2K16 if you're interested in that. Max Curse of the Brotherhood. I actually did like Max Curse of the Brotherhood.
No, Max is a good game, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Strider, which I'm a big fan of because I enjoyed the original Strider back in the NES days.
Farming Simulator.
Pretty good, console release game to have at the beginning of the generation.
Mm-hmm.
See what else here? Sunset Overdrive. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Never played that. And then, like you said, the 360 games. There's a bunch there too. So
yeah, so it's got a decent collection, a good mix.
Yeah. Oh, B Money Tekken Tag Tournament 2's on there.
Yeah, I've been playing Tekken Tag pretty much every day. Just trying to get ready, man. Keep that in the deck, man.
Yeah, B Money. Full disclosure, I'm not picking up Tekken 7, and if I did, I wouldn't be playing you because I don't want to rage quit. Yeah. So, all right. So let's go on to the next topic of the evening.
It's got Soul Calibur 1 and 2.
Oh, does it have Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
That was the shit on that.
That's a pretty rounded out start,
It does, yeah. Yep.
Soul Calibur used to be so good, then it just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Oh man, I put so many hours in Soul Calibur, like on Dreamcast.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So good.
Did they have Yoda? Did they have like a Yoda, like a Star Wars DLC or something? Or wasn't Yoda?
Yeah, that was.
Yoda was Xbox.
Yeah, and then there was Link as well. And Spawn.
Yeah.
Vader was on the PS4, PS3.
PS3, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yoda, that's hilarious.
Yoda actually is my dude, man. Anybody want to see me Soul Calibur getting that ass whacked? Man.
Oh yeah, Maxie is my dude too, man.
Yeah, man.
That was a Siegfried, man.
Hey,
oh yeah, he's nice too.
Hey, so B Money, Novi Nov, what's up, Novi? I believe this is his first time. Welcome to Brap. He's in the live chat. He said, "I'd watch you in Tekken 7."
Oh,
okay.
Oh, shit.
Sounds like a challenge.
B Money's getting around.
Man, throw that gamer tag in the chat, man. I'll see you next week.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, you hear that, Novi Novi? B Money's up for the challenge, man. He's up for the challenge. He said, "Throw the gamer tag in the live chat, and you guys can hook up." So, oh shit, what was it? Oh, did you guys see the trailer for Castlevania for Netflix?
Yeah, so that shit looks awesome.
No.
Dude, what? It looks amazing. Oh,
What?
I'm so. You didn't see that?
Yeah.
No. When did that drop?
I just saw it today.
Today, yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
Okay, B Money, it's dude. He just dropped his gamer tag for you, man.
Hey, Novi, I got you, man. What system? Doing, man.
I think it's Xbox. You said gamer tag, and he just put it. What's it called there? His gamer tag. There you go. We're matchmaking in live chat. Yeah, that Castle Base look fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be really good. It's gonna be like 4 30-minute episodes with the season 2.
I see they threw the NES in there.
Yeah, the beginning. Yeah, you see
That's
the
pretty
NES.
dope. That's
And
pretty
they have
dope.
the red cartridge.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. All right, so let's get to Destiny 2. Did you guys everyone watch the Destiny 2 reveal?
I didn't watch it all the way through.
Yeah, I didn't watch. Oh, never mind. The Destiny reveal? Yeah, no, I did. Yeah. I watched pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah. So, John Rooker, what are your thoughts, man?
I think it looks fucking great.
Do you feel like it's more Destiny 1.5 than Destiny 2?
I mean, I don't think we know enough about it yet. But from everything we do know, I mean, no, I don't think it sounds like that at all. Apparently, areas like the European Dead Zone, for example, are the size of every other explorable area in the original game. And there's going to be instead of beacons, there's towns and outposts with quest givers and stuff like that. There's secret dungeons to find. And
where did we hear that, by the way, before?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, like, where did we hear that before about the towns and stuff?
But it's not like we hadn't been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it looks fucking awesome. And I also don't think that I don't think that anything is. So I said this on Twitter, and a few people are like, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, just wait till fucking Destiny 2 outsells Call of Duty this year.
Dude, that's pretty fucking. That's bold.
This is the year it's going to happen.
You think so?
Going to happen. Yep.
I don't know, man.
Dude, Call of Duty has been on the decline for years.
I know, but
every single iteration has sold less than the year before it, and the Destiny, in the meantime, is on the rise. And the hype machine behind Destiny 2 is unlike any other game in this generation, certainly. And I just don't see Call of Duty coming back to. Yeah, I mean, and people are severely, in my opinion, overestimating exactly how much that World War II setting is going to do for the series. Severely overplaying it.
I think Call of Duty's seen its day.
I agree. And I just don't think, and you guys tell me if you think I'm wrong, I don't see, I don't see Call of Duty coming back and overtaking Destiny this year. I just don't. Or I think, just like you already said, I think that series is at its day. And I don't think the World War II setting is going to do anything to turn the tide on that.
I don't know, man. That's pretty cool.
I'm with it, dude. I mean, that's how you feel.
No, I agree with them. I think Call of Duty's has been declining and Destiny's rising. I'm excited for Destiny, so I haven't been excited for Call of Duty since I don't know Modern Warfare 2. So
yeah, Enrique, you want the gauge for the Call of Duty, man? When Bella Rise is done with Call of Duty.
Yeah, I heard her say that. She's
that's your gauge, man.
yeah.
That is true.
I was dogging, Call of Duty, and she would be like, "Oh, shut your mouth," right. That's blasphemous. Like, but no, I mean, I heard her say that. I think she said it on the RGM podcast this weekend. Yeah, I mean, that's bold. I don't know. You guys all think the Destiny 2 is gonna outsell it?
I don't think it's gonna outsell it, but I think you'll definitely see a huge dip in the Call of Duty sales and definitely a huge rise in the Destiny sales. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the margin is 5 million. You know what I mean, between the two.
Just wait till 2 things are gonna happen this year. Destiny is going to outsell Call of Duty, and the Switch is going to outsell everything else.
It's got to be in stock, man. It's got to be in stock.
That is if and that okay, and that's fine. That's a big caveat. If Nintendo can keep stock up, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, they keep it in stock,
Hey,
man.
brother.
They're definitely rolling on it right now. I can definitely see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they go
yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Real quick, guys. Novi Nov in the live chat says that Destiny 2's graphics look like Destiny 1.
No, they don't. Come on.
I think.
I don't think we've seen enough.
I
lately.
Hey,
Look, I
Enrique,
thought that-
you brought up the 1.5 thing, man, and I brought this up on Twitter.
yeah.
Like, what do you see that makes it 1.5, and what did you want to see to make you feel like it was Destiny 2?
You know, I don't know. I just felt like it looked like Destiny 1. Like it could have been like a DLC. You know.
Dude,
I mean, but what did you?
those particle effects alone, Destiny wouldn't get out. No, nope.
I mean,
I don't
but how much
I-
different did you want it to look? I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's Destiny 2. It's just like saying, like, you know, you play Uncharted, like you still the same characters, a different setting, but it's still Uncharted at the end of the day. Or if you play Halo, it's or the Halo 5. It's a different setting, but it's still Halo. You know what I mean? Like, how much more
Call of
different
Duty.
did you want Destiny to look like?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just wanted to. I just thought it was gonna have a little more polish to it. I guess, like like I don't know. And that could be just me, like just by like coming into it, just having this preconceived notion or idea that it's going to look much better. Because you got to remember, we in the beginning, Bungie was saying, oh, the 360 and the PS3 kind of held the game back, So I was kind of thinking that now that the game is they're really focusing on developing this game on current gen consoles, that that it maybe might look a little more better. But
I mean, I don't
just
think the
my
game took like a back seat. You know what I mean? Just because it was
I
on
don't think it
two
looked
different
terrible.
consoles. You know what I mean? I thought the game looked pretty good for what it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with how it looked.
yeah. So I mean, I don't think it was held back necessarily because it was on 360 or PS3. I mean, they probably graphically could have made it slightly better, but they also made the worlds, 3 times, 4 times as big. So, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a trade-off.
Yeah, and in fairness too, we didn't see like the worlds and how big they are. I mean, we talked about it. We know we're going to John. I think you mentioned the Eurozone.
The European Dead Zone, yeah.
European Dead Zone, yeah. How big that is. Titan. And so real quick, so Novi Nov in the live chat actually brings up a good point. He says he felt like the texture work wasn't improved at all. Setting was the same. Kind of the artistic approach is too similar.
Hold on. Setting was the same. The fucking tower's being destroyed.
So many ways it looked like Destiny 1.5.
No. Hold on a minute. The setting is the same? The fucking setting is being destroyed. The tower is literally being destroyed in the opening of the game, and you want to say the setting is the same? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because the story looked like they're driving you from the tower into the city now. Yeah.
Well, you're losing your light and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say this though, like, what do you say, Eric? Just pass me the light.
We keep moving.
Yeah. No, but I will say I'm glad to see that they're obviously they're focused a lot on the story. They're getting rid of the Grimoire cards. Those are gone.
Good.
Yeah, there's going to be the story this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking forward to the most, man. Like how they're actually going to develop that. Hopefully they develop it in a really good way.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it's
it's more cinematic, and
Mhm.
that's always great. Because what they
That's why
did,
it's at 30. That's why it's at 30 frames a second, man. Cinematic.
like,
Cinematic.
Uh-oh.
that's all I wanted. It was a great story. Give me some cinematic scenes, man. That's all I wanted.
I'm just upset about the fact that it's being held back by the pro.
I was waiting for someone to
I can't believe Sony paid off Bungie to keep that shit at 30 frames a second on the
Okay, I gotta be honest with you. That's one of the craziest things I've heard. Somebody paid them off. So what? Like what? Are you serious? I mean, think about how much sense that makes.
My wife's like, you okay? You seem off today. I'm like, life doesn't matter anymore. You know, like nothing makes sense. You know, it's like you tell me how you would feel knowing that this beast monster console is coming out and it can't do what it needs to do because of this other weakness.
When your little girl is all grown up, what are you supposed to tell her?
You know?
Yeah.
She's gonna ask my wife, like, when did Daddy lose his way? It's when Destiny wasn't 4K 60.
That's the day your father started drinking and everything changed.
You know.
It's when Daddy heard that announcement. We went downhill.
But legit,
that was the first night he ever hit me.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mama, if you're listening, help!
It's all Phil's fault.
Yeah. So John, Novi Nov replied to you. He's saying, I mean, in terms of visual aesthetically.
Well, I mean, how different do you expect it to look? I mean, it's it's Destiny. It has to look like Destiny. That's like saying, man, I'll tell you what, Call of Duty doesn't really look like Call of Duty. You know, or saying that's like saying, man, they really fucked up Sub-Zero, didn't they?
We didn't have a console jump, so it's not like it's gonna look much different.
Yeah.
They're released on the same console.
Well, not only that, but it's like people are like, oh, the art design looks like Destiny. Okay. Like,
I heard people say,
what?
You're right, it does. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I
But you know, this whole Destiny 2 thing has been a great commentary on why the whole mid-gen console thing is throwing the whole ecosystem and the circle of life off. Everyone's expectations are like way blown. Everyone expected when they saw Destiny 2 reveal, it was going to be like Raiders of the Lost Ark and your face was going to melt. It's still, mid-gen second Destiny. It's like, this is kind of what happens. The textures are going to be better. But outside of that, nothing was wrong with Destiny. It wasn't like Destiny needed some major boost in graphics or whatever the case may be.
You know what Destiny needed more than anything else was matchmaking for raids, and they finally got it right there.
Well, we hope.
Well, yeah, we hope.
I just wanted them to address.
Yeah. But that's just it, man. That's just it. It's like everybody's like, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people's expectations on everything is just completely out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. B, what were you saying, man?
Nah, the only thing that I thought was that needed to be adjusted for Destiny was, of course, the story. But as far as the PvP, you know what I mean, the multiplayer, I thought that could have been addressed a little bit, just so it had some sort of ranking system or something. Kind of, gave a reason for players to jump on there and play. Because I felt like a lot of people played Destiny, and everybody kind of enjoyed it for whatever they took from it. Whether it just been the grind or playing with their friends or whatever the case was. But I thought the multiplayer a little lacking, and it could have been larger if there was some incentive. To kind of keep playing it. So hopefully they address that with Destiny 2. They didn't really talk about that during the reviews. So,
and it seems like they're really addressing like nobody being kind of left behind, like depending on your level and stuff, because that was a huge problem. I think we talked about this already. It was a huge problem with Destiny. Is like, people not really wanting to rock with you if you didn't have the light level.
Yeah.
Or you're holding people back because you really can't do anything that your buddies or friends with higher light level.
Eric.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Yeah, guys like us, we work every day and stuff like that. So we can't commit the 10 hours a day to Destiny like somebody else, and can. So when we hop on there, we still want to be able to enjoy the game. And that,
6 hours a day for me. I do have a job.
And then figuring out a way to if you don't have that you can't jump on with your friends, or you have some downtime when your friends aren't on, to be able to continue to build that light level.
Right.
So yeah, they got to have that kind of thing in place. But Ricky, you're absolutely right. What you just said is like, I have a lot of the DLC, but I don't have many hours in Destiny because it's just the experience wasn't fun because my light levels weren't as high as people that I was playing with. I kind of came late to the party.
Yeah.
Noob.
Oh man, it's like, I can tell you, it's like the video game equivalent of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You can't play in these reindeer games. Get out of here.
Oh boy! All right, so frame rate gauge. People lost their shit over, Destiny not being 60 frames a second on the Pro and possibly Scorpio. Although interestingly enough, I forget his name. Is it Luke? Luke Smith. I think he's a country music singer. No, is it Luke Smith, the guy from Luke Bryan's a country music? Luke Smith, the guy from Bungie. He was the guy that went on IGN. I think commented on how Pro is a beast of a console, but couldn't handle the engine. I guess the Bungie game or the Bungie engine, the Destiny engine, and that's why they couldn't run it 60 frames a second.
Yeah, which is really a big up to he's on there big upping their engine.
Yeah, and then he said, but he couldn't comment on Scorpio. I mean, I did ask him, but obviously he's probably under NDA, couldn't comment on that. But then Digital Foundry had an interesting article that came out. I think it was today actually.
I think it dropped like yesterday.
Yesterday, actually. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It dropped last night. When they're talking about, they're kind of speculating why it's not running, 4K 60 frames a second. Although it is coming to PC. Let me mention that. And on PC, it's gonna run. It's gonna run 4K 60 frames a second. So, what do you guys think? If you guys think that if they can do this on Scorpio, if Scorpio can handle it, they should run it, 4K 60?
No, I don't.
I mean,
because the Xbox One's not going to be able to do it, and I don't care what anybody says. If you're talking the same console family, no parity is a bad thing, because 60 frames a second versus 30 will absolutely give you an advantage. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, it's a huge advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless an Xbox One can get 1080p 60, but I don't think it can do that, right?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the way the game's designed. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not.
If it was like
That's not
Call
what
of
it's meant to
Duty,
do,
or they probably could, but it's open world and why keep the open world 30, but then have the PvP part 60? I mean, could they do that?
It's probably a little late in the game for that now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is it's probably a money and time thing too with that. As I read the Digital Foundry article, they said it's probably worth more. It's probably more trouble than what it's actually worth to do that. To do 60, or even bump it down to 1080 and at 60 on the Scorpio or the Pro.
Mm.
So and I think what's interesting is, I mean, we talk about parity with the Xbox One and the Scorpio. Microsoft's Mike Ibarra came out, I think it was this past weekend, and kind of addressed this, saying, hey, it's, we're not forcing parity in terms of frames per second with the Xbox One and Scorpio. It's really up to the developers.
Right.
You know?
And now every single game that's coming out this fall, everybody's asking developers, is your game better on Scorpio? Is your game better on Scorpio? Every interview, that's like the major question. So like every developer is like, yeah, the game may look better, the game may have better textures or better detail, but the game would probably run the same frame rate on all consoles. So everybody's saying, you're going to get the better experience on the Scorpio. Yes, you probably will. It's going to look better, run at a higher resolution, have better detail. But to think that, the Scorpio will run the game at, 60 frames or give you an unlocked frame rate or something ridiculous, and the other consoles are going to run it at 30 frames or something, is highly unlikely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think we're too soon for that, and people just expect think too much of it than what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're saying, Bungie said that in this interview with IGN, that it's on the CPU side. They're saying that it's simulation, like they have more AI, more monsters in the environment, more physically simulated vehicles, characters, projectiles. So it's a bigger world. I mean, it's a bigger game. It's a bigger experience from what it sounds like from the previous Destiny game. And as we know, the Pro runs it's an upclocked Jaguar CPU. And I think now the Scorpio has a Jaguar variant. Is that, or is it? Is that, I understand that correctly?
Yeah, it's a custom Jaguar chip. Yeah, I mean it's based on a Jaguar, the chip, but they just customize it. It runs at like 0.2 higher than the Jaguar chip that's in the Pro. So I think the Pro runs at like 2.1. The Scorpio runs it at 2.3. It'll probably be upclocked before it releases. Run it at like 2.5 or something like that.
Interesting. So we're gonna see this then more likely. I don't know if you said this earlier, be money, but this is gonna be something that's gonna be reoccurring then. It sounds like with regards to frame rate.
Oh yeah,
the different games. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because Project Cars, didn't they come out and said that they're not going to be held back?
Hey guys, I just realized it's after 10, man. I gotta hit the rack, dude.
Oh, no worries, man.
Sorry guys, but it's a pleasure hanging out with everybody, and I will do my best to be back on again next week.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. We pleasure having you back on, and you guys gonna be on live tomorrow night, man?
We will. Superform Gamescast live Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. We talk some E3 shit. Talk about pretty much the same shit we're talking about tonight.
John, will you be cooking during the Superform Gamescast show?
Yeah, like so. I did a cooking video. It came up with a clever title called The Main Menu, and it won't upload, so I'm gonna have to do it again this weekend.
When I'm check that out.
When I'm rocking my bacon wrapped scallops and my roasted asparagus.
Let's go.
Nice. Let's do this, man.
Yeah, no, expect this weekend. I'm gonna throw something on there.
Nice, man.
All right, boys. I'll see you later.
Later, John.
All right, take it easy.
Take care, man.
Now, let me ask a question. When it comes to,
I already know where you're going with this.
You do?
Yes.
When it comes to, are we assuming that Scorpio will be able to run Destiny 2 at 4K 60? Because I mean, Bungie can't come out and say it. We're only going by the fact that Luke, what's his name, jumped out there at first and said that Pro can't do it. But are we under the assumption that Scorpio can do it? Because they can't say either way. I know most people kind of taking that as, well, it can do it because we know what the specs are, but truth be told, you don't know what Destiny or what Bungie's engine is capable of or not capable of.
Right.
Or how these systems, these consoles, because again, let's remember that they are consoles.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea. Everyone's guessing and assuming. Right? So.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
The thing that we would have to look at is when Destiny releases on PC, the PC requirements for the game, and then what it actually requires to run the game at 4K 60. And if those specs are somewhat close, then you could probably say like the Scorpio probably could handle it. But until then, I guess we can assume, but if they're not going to confirm, you know what I mean? It's just.
I mean, but if they can't get, if they could, I don't think they should.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since.
I don't think they're
playing with other Xbox One players, and
I don't think
a big difference.
I don't think they would do it for that reason. As far as having a big difference, they don't want that public embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
60 million people who bought it on PlayStation to be like, yo, I gave you my $60 and I get a less experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what would happen. And
which they kind of ran into.
You know what I mean? Every PlayStation fanboy would go insane, go bananas. It would be a PR nightmare for Bungie. And something that a lot of big developers have trouble coming back from. When you go through stuff like that, it's the uphill battle. Look at Square Enix with Tomb Raider. Uphill battle.
Right.
And you're going to get it on the other side too, that, it comes out 4K 30 on the Scorpio, but if it comes out saying, yeah, we could have got 60, but,
Yeah, and everyone who owns a Scorpio is definitely going to feel like that their console can definitely do much more than what's being provided.
Mm-hmm.
And from a point you kind of would want to demand those things when you go out and buy a new console. You know what I mean? And you're kind of promised this great dream, and you could have just stayed with your Xbox One S or your OG Xbox, and now you're feeling like you got finessed because you bought the Scorpio and you ain't really getting nothing different.
Right.
Some, some prettier pictures on your TV screen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
hey, real quick, I just want to kind of just piggyback on what you just said, B-Money. You said prettier pictures on your TV screen.
Yeah.
In that article, the article that we're talking about with regards to Digital Foundry and the whole 60 frames a second thing with Destiny 2, they're saying that the way that the Pro and Scorpio are designed, that a lot of the muscle is really on the with regard to the GPU. Like these consoles were made to make games look prettier. It was about resolution and graphics.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, man. Go ahead and finish your what you're saying.
I mean, when you run out and buy a Scorpio and you start to feel like you got finesse because you done paid another $400, to buy another Xbox, and you're promised this great dream that that you play the best on Xbox Scorpio, you're going to get this crazy experience. And yeah, it looks prettier, but Destiny still runs 30 frames. Destiny 2 still runs 30 frames, just like every other console. Looks slightly better. Was it worth your $400 to have it look slightly better? Maybe. Probably not, though.
Mm-hmm. That's why I go back to saying, man, those with tempered expectation and who make a sound decision based on their needs will be fine. Those who want to peacock and pump their chest and basically it's more about, bragging rights, you have some hard choices to make. Like seriously. Yeah. And I've heard people. I'm sorry, go ahead, B.
Not to cut you off, E, but Nels Coney just mentioned that in the Destiny reveals that they use the i7 1080 Ti. So 1080 Ti is like one of the most powerful graphics cards in there, and of course using the i7 CPU. You know what I mean? That's how they got that 4K 60. So the Scorpio ain't running like that. Just saying.
Yeah.
And that'll add into what I was about to say is I've seen people out there saying, well, they should give us the option. Okay, they are. They give you the option to go get the PC version. Where you do whatever you want with that one. You can play what you're saying, but that is not what console gaming is or has ever been.
Right.
Bungie, and we can only use Bungie as an example here, but this is going to happen going forward with other devs. They don't want the nightmare of giving all these different console settings, and sliders and things for you to play with and try to figure out, because that isn't what console gaming is about. Console gaming is about plug and play. And if you want to move out of that realm, again, you have a decision to make. You have, a version out there that you can do all that with. So,
Yep.
I don't get it. I know one thing, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, I think yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, this whole thing is kind of made me, I don't know, I've been back and forth with Scorpio, but this whole thing kind of like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what, like if 4K, running top notch, if that's important for me, I probably need to look something out. I need to look at something outside of consoles. I just don't get the sense, at least this console generation, that I think we'll get it with some games, but not some of these games like Destiny, for things that Bungie, mentioned in terms of, more AI, right? I mean, we think about how taxing AI is on a CPU, or we could just go back to what's the Assassin's Creed game, Unity. Think about, they were trying to take that franchise to another level with just crazy amounts of AI. And what happened?
Shit.
Yeah, it couldn't handle it.
Right.
So I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Like part of me's thinking now, like with this whole thing, we may see 4K. And I just want to say something in regards to 60. I also get the point where 60 frames a second, like where people are like, you know, there's no reason why this game shouldn't run 60 when, you know, you have Battlefield 1 running 60.
All the armchair devs.
Yeah, you have Call of Duty running 60. You know, the multiple, and I get that. Like, I understand that point. You know, and maybe they could have done it with the, you know, with the PvP portion of the game. But then again, like, we're like,
was anything wrong with the PvP version of Destiny 1? What, all the times that we played together, that we enjoy ourselves, that we complain that the game is running 30 frames per second?
I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah, we did.
Never thought twice about it.
Right?
What's that?
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no,
if you're a base grounded gamer, you know, but the priority is like way off now, man. I mean, we all want better, but come on.
Yeah. Can you imagine Halo 6 when that comes out and they say, well, we can only do 4K 30. Your fanboys are they're gonna flip. They're gonna expect Halo 6 to be 4K 60. That's what they probably think now. Yeah.
That game, what all started, they'd be better off canceling Halo 6. They come out with it.
Yeah.
Because they've already said first party will do it.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, but they said, like Phil, like even last E3, he said 4K. But has anybody on the Xbox side said 60? Have they mentioned anything about 60? You know, where do these fanboys are getting that from, thinking that it's going to do 60?
Shit, man, I've gone to the point where I'm believing the 4K 60 because of the fanboys.
Yeah,
you're right. Phil may have never said that. You're right.
But I thought like B Money, didn't you guys had Albert Pinello on Tech, right?
Yes, we did.
Oh, Pinello said
say that 4K 60.
He said that it was possible for games to run at 4K 60. He never guaranteed that every game would, but a lot of people took it out of context when he said that. But you know, I wouldn't doubt that every first party game is going to run at 4K 60. I wouldn't doubt that.
I swear somewhere along the line someone said first party will.
Yeah, and it probably was Greenberg because you know, Greeny's my man.
This is the problem. The problem with having this
he always
thing
out there
announced.
talking.
True. Yeah, he said there wasn't going to be an Xbox. Not the onesie. The
Jeez, man.
No
Xbox rompers running around.
Yeah, I said the other day, but he said no, that's not gonna happen, and watch it happen. And oh man, I'm a clown. But this is also the problem of announcing this thing at last E3. That's a long time for a lot of things to be said and walked back, and other things to be thrown out, and no one can remember what was said here and said there. And then you're digging through the archives, and the fanboys who like to take screenshots on their phone hit you back. Look, bitch, this is what you said. You know?
Yeah, like Shannon Locker said this, and
it's like, damn, you kept that screenshot all this time. You worse than a girlfriend.
I know, had that one in the back pocket ready, man.
You know, because you said that shit. It's like, but seriously, go fast. You're right, man. Oh my god, if they said Halo 6 can't run at 60, ooh, I'm out, yo. I'm not even getting on. I can't even get online. I won't be able to take it. You know. They would be better. They would be better off.
Everybody be marching outside of Redmond offices, man. They'd be going crazy, man.
Yeah, they'd be like, I'm canceling. They're gonna tweet Phil, and I'm canceling my pre-order.
Truth be told, they probably let them off the hook because it's more important to like get it, Microsoft execs to like you on Twitter than to actually tell the truth and show a little bit of outreach. You know.
You know what though? I'll say this much: like we talk about like the messaging and stuff. It is smart for them to sit there, for them to say, "Hey, it's up to developers. It's not on us."
For real, like,
I mean, think about it. I mean, right? I mean, like, it's not on us. It's not on hardware. We got the most powerful console out. It's not on us.
Yeah, it's not their first party game, so they don't have to explain that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mikey Brown's like, I'm gonna take care of this shit right now.
He's like, what? What did they say? Parody? No, fuck that. He got on Twitter.
Mike pulled that Eddie Murphy Raw like, hey, wasn't me.
Yeah, wasn't me. Maybe it wasn't you.
But again, there goes the power of Twitter, because I mean, the minute he did that, immediately the fanboy pool jumped in for the defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then so right there, I mean, he basically laid down some dogmatic law.
Yeah.
You know? But that could come back to bite him in the ass again later.
Yeah. I'll say B-Money, you're right, man. You did bring up a good point. And you know, I was in there, I was in that camp too, where, you know, I'm like, damn, why can't this be 60 frames a second? Like, you know, I mean, that's ideal for first person shooter, you know, especially when some of these other ones are. But to your point, you're like, yeah, did we have fun? Yeah, absolutely. We had fun. It was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we can't deny, we always talk about how great the shooting mechanics are in that game. I mean, that's just.
Yeah. None of us said, man, it was awesome. But if it was 60,
yeah, you know, we didn't have the frame counter on the screen, man.
Oh my God!
I mean, we was enjoying the game, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, and that's what I said on NLG the other day, that I enjoyed the game, you know, until I got to a certain point where I kind of got bored and I didn't really have anybody to go get on raids or whatever strikes. So, but the game was great, mechanic, the look.
Yeah,
I can't complain, and I'll be fine to play Destiny 2 in 1080p 30. I'm okay.
I'm right there with you, bro. And especially if they do address, like what you just said, if they have a way for you to jump in and do things without having to worry about your crew, and then when your crew can be on, continue it, they're going to be gold. They're going to be golden. Because that was a big problem with the Division.
Yeah,
You know, it's like you didn't have the crew.
Game was
the game
hot for
just
a week.
didn't. Yeah, man.
yeah, the Division just didn't make sense though, because like you run with your crew, you know what I mean? They're like 5 levels, 6 levels higher than you. You just getting your ass smashed on.
Yeah.
It's like, yo,
And you know what it started becoming?
Like,
people were telling you, go hide behind that box.
Yeah,
Got you.
Yeah. Higher level you up.
It's like, oh, this game is so much fun. I get to hide.
That's what I used to do.
I will say they did get it right on Ghost Recon. It doesn't matter what anybody's level is, because each person, they play to their level. So, you know, someone could be level 10, the other person's 20. The level 10 guy is playing against AI who's at their level, you know, and it's different for the guy that's level 20 or up. So I like the way they did that on that.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing about design choice. You know, developing game development. I mean, you know, these guys also have to meet deadlines. You know, and there's time and money and resources involved in this stuff too. You know, it isn't like you turn on the light switch and you're at 4K 60 frames a second because you have the hardware to do it. You know.
Plus, we got to remember, like Bungie got Activision down their back. They don't release this game this year. Activision going in them pockets.
Yeah,
they taking over the majority of Bungie. So what Bungie got to do what they got to do to get this game out on time and ready to go. So
Bungie's not trying to lose their house.
That's right.
Yeah, because Activision, you're right, B-Mike, because they will become majority shareholders.
That's right, man.
They will own them.
Yeah, and that would be a sad day.
They will have a lot of and they will have a lot of influence, in the decision making. Who's there? You know. Yeah.
Enrique, you haven't watched enough YouTube videos to be a game dev? You said you're not a game dev, you know. You just gotta watch YouTube videos, man.
No, I just, you know, when you read things, you know, I mean, look, a lot of people forget this is time and money, you know.
That's what people don't seem to remember.
It's time and money, and sometimes, you know, you just don't have the resources to do it. You don't have the time to do it.
But Enrique, they replied to my tweet, and they like my tweet, so that means they care about me individually.
I mean, think about it. If they had to go back and build a whole new engine again, right? If you read like what Digital Foundry says, I mean, think about it. You'd have to go back, build a whole new engine. That's time consuming. That costs money. Then you're under the gun to release the game 2017 fall, right?
Mhm.
Because Activision's you got to release that game. But we got you.
They walk by every day and remind them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, out with a little sign. 35
come out with a
days.
measure.
5 days.
Like, oh man, we're gonna knock these walls out. It's gonna be nice. You make a little basketball court in the middle of y'all. It's gonna be nice.
What you got on my Destiny 2?
Yeah, like Debo and them.
Yeah, Debo. Yeah, what you got on my Destiny 2? My mama gave me that chain.
See, this is what's gonna see. Then going along with that too, you can see people. They're expecting 4K 60, but then when that 4K 60 comes out of the car and looks like 4K 30, and I thought you said you looked at Janet Jackson. They're gonna flip. Ain't right.
Don't ever come back.
Exactly, man. 4K 60 takes that wig off.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Dude, if you're cool and you're content right now, you're not worried about all the wrong stuff. You're gonna continue on. That's what I said. I'm gonna be fine.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm thinking about, you know what? I might just wait. I might just wait till the PlayStation 5 comes out, or the next Xbox.
Yeah.
It's possible, man. And I don't know. People try to downplay it or overlook it, but every time people ask Phil, we're not going to pre-order it. Phil's like, yo, just chill. Just wait till you see it.
Yeah.
That's like an uncle telling you, look, man, don't run out there too fast. You're going to fall. I got it. And you run into, next thing you know, you have no skin on your chin or your knees.
It's like the uncle.
Yeah. That's the funny part too, man. It's like, a guy like Phil, Phil goes out, Phil gets scrutinized. Like, well, no matter what he says, Phil's always under a microscope, good or bad, right? But when Phil drops knowledge and Phil's actually trying to school people on what it means to be a gamer and be chill, the same ones who are always out there fighting this console war, that's when they don't want to take his advice.
Yep.
They don't want to take that knowledge, but they want to throw it back in your face. Oh, you don't know what Phil scrutinized. You don't know what Phil's talking about. No, we know exactly what Phil's talking about. But when it comes to, I don't play these console war games, I don't understand why people are so concerned about this and that over plastic. They don't want to hear that part. Or when Phil's saying, just, chill, just wait and see what we have to deliver before you run out there. He's not saying it's going to be bad, but he's also saying, I always take that as temper your expectation.
Well, you should. I mean, you should. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And tempering your expectation isn't a bad thing. It just means there's nothing in life that you should like overhype. Look what people do with movies all the time. Like, oh, that's going to be the best movie ever. And they walk out later like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's not that the movie was even bad. You just had this unrealistic expectation of what it was going to be.
That was like me with Logan.
Oh, you're talking about like Batman versus Superman?
Yeah.
I actually like that movie.
Man.
You're horrible. You're a horrible person.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was good.
It should have been like 100 times better.
Yeah.
B might like that movie was good and bad.
We can't. Yeah, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
You can't. People like it was okay for what it was. No, you can't have the holy trinity of comic book characters in one movie and walk out saying it was all right for what it was.
Right.
I thought it was good. I was a little disappointed with Logan, but that's
What?
That was old man Logan, man.
That was old man Logan. Yeah.
Everybody was disappointed with that.
Yeah.
It was
I
a
like
good
old
movie for
man.
what it
I
was.
like old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like Suicide Squad, didn't you?
You know what?
I did.
Jared Leto's Joker is terrible.
Yeah.
Horrible, man.
Well, that's why I'm hoping that, and I doubt it's going to happen, but that Joker is not the Joker. It's the, that theory about it being Robin.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
And I wish that theory too that it's Robin. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that's what it would turn out to be, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, there's parts of Squad that are really good. Squad started off really good, but then it kind of turned into like Ninja Turtles 3.
Yeah.
From the 90s.
I said, "Go Ninja, go Ninja,
Mhm.
go."
Hey, I was expecting them to break out into some like rap song like Little
Vanilla
Uzi or
Ice.
something.
Vanilla Ice.
So anyway,
Yeah. All right, we get off topic here a little bit,
yeah,
but that's
let's take it back, pull it back
yes. All right. Anyway, so you know what? I think that this is going to be something that's going to be coming up again. I mean, we're going to see this with other games.
in.
So I mean, I guess people shouldn't be disappointed. I mean, I think it's like Microsoft. It's up to developers, and I think that's going to make some people unhappy at times.
Yes, it will.
And there you go again. People are taking that to say, well, see, it should be able to do whatever. No, it's up to the dev, man. And devs are not, dude, they're not interested in spending more money. When you have shareholders breathing down your back, it's like, well, you could have had that new Aston Martin, but we had to make sure that, Johnny's game ran at 4K 60 across the board. Shareholders don't want to hear that. They want a bottom line. And if it means added dev costs and bringing in more people for teams and you're watching more money go out the door than's coming in, it's just not going to happen. Doesn't matter what kind of hardware they have in front of them.
Yep.
So, yeah, this whole experiment, this whole mid-gen console experiment is interesting.
Because what you'll start to see is if every game start to be like 4K 60, it'd be more of like what Remedy did with Quantum Break.
Mm-hmm.
The textures wouldn't be in 4K; they'd be like, kind of put together, and then the resolution would be 4K, but the textures wouldn't. And that's kind of where they would pick up and be able to run the game at 60 frames.
Right.
And I don't know if people would be happy with that at the end of the day or not, but I think that's what they would probably have to do in some cases. Not in all cases, but in some cases they would.
Right. And again, man, at the end of the day, content is king, gameplay is king. Like, there's some very, very pretty games out there that are straight garbage.
Yes, indeed.
So
did we lose
oh yeah, Enrique? Looks like it.
Oh,
there he is.
Yo, Brad.
What you doing, man? How you leaving your own show, man?
I got
when do we get a beer?
Yeah, man. Enrique will do that to you, man.
No, you know what happened? I got dropped.
Oh, Hangouts on it, huh?
Yeah, no, it froze and then I was gone.
Oh man,
it's weird. And Eric, your icon thing, your avatar, whatever it's called, isn't even. I don't even see it.
Really, I see it.
Yeah, I see it. It's weird. And I'm getting a lot of static too.
Yeah, I hear the static.
Yeah, I got a little static.
I don't know if that's me but yeah. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Like I said, it just froze up. Like you were talking, Eric, and it just froze up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's at that Hangouts. Yeah. So Tipsy Gamer says we'll just get a lot of lazy dev statements.
Yeah, exactly.
Lazy
Everybody
devs.
lazy. I'm telling you, this is gonna be, I think, one of the funniest falls for me is on Twitter, because I'm just gonna look at everybody asking every single dev what makes your game look better or what makes your game better on Scorpio. And when those devs hit them with that sauce, tell them, hey man, we ain't do much different.
Right.
The tears that we gonna see, it's gonna be so glorious.
Yeah, you said that the other day in the DM, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna sit there and laugh with you. Yeah, I said I'm gonna be all right because I don't have any investment in it. Like, if it delivers what I need, I'll pick it up. If it doesn't, I'm good with what I have. It doesn't change the games that I play, how I feel about them, and I don't have this unrealistic expectation about what's going to be delivered. I just want to see what it is.
Right.
And I'll make my decision then. Those who are overly emotionally involved and just going to have these breakdowns, oh my God, it's going to be funny. Funny.
I get the sense that this thing's not going to be what people thought it was going to be.
I've been saying that for a long time, man.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Pro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said, it's consoles, man. If I'm that invested, that's when I start to build a PC.
That's a good point, man. I've been saying that too. It's like, if I'm going to spend, a couple $100 on a new console, and I got to go out and buy a TV. I'm not going to go. People are like, oh, 4K TVs are cheap. They're $500. I don't want I don't want a cheap ass $500 4K TV.
Man, buying a $500 TV, 4K TV is like wearing fake red bottoms. Stop.
Like, I don't know what happened. I walked through this puddle and my shoe literally disintegrated.
Man, don't do it to yourself.
Right. And if you're the person that's invested in like a Pro and a Scorpio because you want the resolution and everything, you're not going to go out and just pick up whatever, because not all 4K TVs are built the same or are equal.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't think about that too. It's like, and don't give me this super sampling bullshit. I'm sorry. Well, it'll make everything. It'll change your 1080p TV and make it look. No, if you're in a person that's invested in this, you are not going to be content with just the 1080p TV.
Right.
You're not. What are you even doing it for? I mean, Microsoft has walked back their take on the whole Scorpio thing since they first announced it. Because remember, at first Phil said, if you don't have a 4K TV, then Scorpio isn't going to make much sense for you. They've since walked that back with the super sampling stuff. But again, you're not going to want that. You're going to want the best.
That's right.
So that's
buy the best. You're gonna need the best.
Exactly.
Yeah. That 1080 Ti, is that what it is? That they were running Destiny on?
Yep.
And what was the CPU? It was an i7?
Yeah.
It's isn't that like a 10 core CPU?
Yeah, there's some versions that are 10 cores.
It's the I see it right here. The GTX 1080 Ti paired with the Core i7 7700K. They say they're 8 to 10 core CPUs. Wow.
Yeah.
I laugh at the people that say, they talk about it and they go, yeah, but they customized it. You know what that means? Shut up.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Customized button, man.
They did customize it, but
they did. But again, armchair devs or armchair engineers are like, yeah, but they customized it. It's like, how?
Yeah,
I don't know, but they did.
I don't remember what Digital Foundry said about the CPU. I thought they said it was pretty remarkable, but I don't remember. But again, I mean, we got to see like what it means in real world performance. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what matters.
That's exactly it.
We have not seen not one game running on the Scorpio to date.
No.
So until we do, all of this is for nothing. They can show as many pretty pictures as they want to. Until we see some games running on it, I ain't trying to hear it.
Right, and people will say, like, well, you don't say that about the Pro. It's like, because the Pro is out. We know what the Pro is.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, good or bad, and it's true. Like Sony right now, they need to step up their game as far as Pro patches, and that is absolutely true.
Oh,
we know what it is.
Real quick, a Tipsy Gamer said built-in DDX12. That was one of the things that it has. Baked in DX12 on the CPU. Yeah.
Well, we'll find out at E3.
And looks like Crocodile. I think Crocodile might be related. This might be related to the CPU regarding with the customization of the CPU for the Scorpio. He said it means that they got rid of all the bottlenecks that wouldn't allow PS4 Pro to run 60 frames a second.
Interesting.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's gonna be interesting. And I'm more excited to get to E3 at this point. I mean, I want to see what games are coming and stuff like that. But
we need the games.
No, I want to get there so we can finally see what it is. And shut up.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next phase of everybody not shutting the hell up.
Yeah, because the whole year of the Scorpio and the Pro and all this hardware talk is just, I'm done with it.
Yeah, Fastback, no lie. I told Enrique this. When they announced at E3, the Scorpio, I was like, and they said, holiday 2017. I went, what? Not because I was hyped and not because, they finally announced. I was like, we got over a year and a half of this shit. They're not shutting up now. That's not me like going off on the Xbox fan. That's just in general.
No, it's true.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. I was pissed at Microsoft. I'm still pissed at them for doing that.
Yeah, I think I get why people are excited for it. I'm excited to learn more about Scorpio.
Same here.
Because
I think it was like the announcement was cool, but I think it would have been like made a greater impact if they could have held it under wraps, saved it for this year's E3, and be like out this fall. You know what I mean? People would have went bananas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We know what it is. We've known what it is for a year and a half now, so it is what it is. But like, if they could announce it at this year's E3 and be like, out this fall, $3.99 or whatever the price is, they would have, you know, sent some sound waves through the gaming industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be, dude. This E3 is, you know, I know we always say, you know, this E3 is like, man, this is gonna be a really good one, an interesting one. This is gonna be a really interesting E3.
It is.
You know?
I still think Microsoft's going to be focusing a lot on hardware at E3, talking about Scorpio. Like they have to, you know, like they have to, you know, really give, they got to get that messaging right. They really got to give people insight into why they might want this product, how it's going to benefit them, you know, what the plan for the future is. And I think Sony's just going to do what they did last year, show games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they may. I don't see them. I'd be surprised if they deviated from last year's E3. Last year's E3 to me was probably one of the best conferences I've ever seen from Sony.
Minimal talking.
I mean, it was just
game after game. Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was like one on top of the other. So yeah, I think we'll get like release dates from them on some of those titles from like last year, and then they'll probably throw some more out of what's coming. And I know people gave all kind of shit about that, about well, those titles aren't coming, you know, for a while. I like to know, you know, 4 or 5 months out what I'm gonna be playing. Which I'm like, who does that except for Bethesda?
Right.
yeah.
You know, we're acting like everybody does that now, and it's like, no. When it's a long game, man. This whole console thing is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And you know, there's so much that you can be playing in between what is coming, right? But it's always good to know, you know, well, this is still on the horizon. Now, what does suck is when something gets announced way too far out, and then 4 years later, it's still not here. Looking at you, Cuphead. You know,
Scale.
Oh yeah, it's just there are games that just disappear, and you forget about them. But right now, I think we're in a stride. I think Sony's in a stride to where they're like announcing things, but then it's probably a year or so out. So I know people were like, "Oh, typical Sony. Those are announced, and they're not going to come out till like 2019, 2020." That might be true of Death Stranding, but I don't think that's true of Days Gone, Spider-Man, God of War, any of those. I think what they did was very smart. And then you put a commercial out that says, "Hey, these are coming," you know. But right now, you got Nier, Persona, you know, boom, 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 to keep you busy, and it's more than anybody can play.
Plus all the third-party deals.
Shit,
Exactly.
Persona 5, like 8 games.
How many hours did you have in that total?
I think like 126 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Can you believe that? I'm like, what? That was just to finish the game.
Yo, and you know what, man? Let's shout out Andrew Goldfarb on IGN. Like people talk like crap about that dude, but that dude platinum Persona 5 on the Japanese version and the American version.
That dude's insane, man.
I'll tell you some mad props to that dude, because if you haven't played, the game is long. It is long. I mean, it honestly, like, I think the one complaint I have about that game is that it's too long.
Yeah, and that dude platinum it on both in a language that he doesn't even speak.
Yeah, crazy.
That's some OG shit right there, man.
That is.
You know?
Yeah, but you know, it's such a good game. It's seriously, it really is. It's but a lot of reviewers say it's the best in the franchise. But my only complaint is that it's too long. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think there's a part of the game, for me at least, where I felt like they could have ended it and they just kept going with it. You know, and not that it went somewhere where it didn't make sense. Like it's still tied into the meat of the story, but I was at that point, I'm like 100 and something. I'm like, fuck, when does this game end? I was fatigued. I mean, I was fatigued, but yeah, guys, real quick, I want to go to live chat because it's there's some good conversations going on with some of the folks that are in it right now. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so All-Star Gamer, I gotta disagree with you. You said that Sony does not have good conferences. Sony conferences are always disappointing. I disagree with that. I thought Microsoft had a better 2013 conference, actually, believe it or not, than Sony did.
Was that the backwards compatibility announcement conference? I believe so.
No, that was
No.
2014.
That was 2014. Okay.
Yeah. But I will say, Sony's conference last year was just amazing. I mean, they had a fucking live orchestra there.
I think the past 2 years for Sony, they've recognized, that they gotta pay attention to their fan base, and they've definitely been doing that. I mean, they took some heat from their first PSX, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and they kind of learned from that and bounced back from that really strong. So the E3 was heavy, it was clean. That and their PSX was clean as hell. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, that VR PSX. Oh my god, that was horrible.
Yeah, they bounced back strong from that, and you can really tell that they put their ear to the streets and really listen to the fans and what they wanted, and they hit on that nostalgia very hard. You know what I mean? Bringing back some old classics that people really like, with the rapper stuff and Crash coming back. You know what I mean? So they've learned from their mistakes, and it'll be interesting to see where they go with this year's E3.
I hope they do the same thing like they did last year. Just show games.
Yeah.
Just show games. I mean, that was just beautiful. Like, to me, that was like, this is for you guys. You know what I mean? Like, this is for you, the gamers. Like, we're not going to come up here. We're not going to bore you. That VR demo that you just mentioned, Eric, was terrible for Sony.
Yeah.
Terrible. It was like, I wanted to pull my eyes out. I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah. And dude, and not to mention, it was very deliberate that year. It wasn't deliberate what he did, but Sean Layton came out wearing the Crash shirt. He said for him, that was just him wearing that shirt, and people kind of, speculated and freaked out, right? And then the next year, they made sure
that
they had that. Yeah, they made sure it was there. So people can sit and say, like, Sony doesn't listen to their fans, because they may not do a lot of Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'll say it's fine to me. I have no problem with, Microsoft execs being on Twitter, talking to the fans. That's great. But I will say, too, I have no problem with how Sony does it either. I don't need you talking to me on Twitter. That means that you're working.
What are you trying to say, Eric? You trying to say Phil's not working?
No, dude.
You trying to say Aaron's not working?
I give Phil props because he takes beatings on Twitter, but he still comes back and talks to the fan base. And the thing I like about Phil is he's not even just talking to the fan base. Like, he's answering his naysayers.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. And I'm not saying that, Phil doing that is a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm not going to give Shuhei or Sean Layton shit because they're not spending a lot of time on Twitter talking to the fan base. It's just a different philosophy in a company. That's all. But when you're delivering XYZ like all throughout the year and your fan base is, seems to be pretty satiated, that's huge too. I'm just saying they do answer back about what fans want. They may not be as vocal about it all day long.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. Eric, I gotta laugh, man, because you are done with this hardware chatter, man.
Dude, I've been done with it for like ever, because to me it's like, hardware is all well and good, but hardware has never been the determining factor in what makes gaming good. We move forward, we get new hardware in a generation that's, we get excited about that. We're excited about, Switch being announced. We get excited. I don't know how, I know people are excited about the mid-gen upgrades, but I don't think it's as exciting as when a new generation starts.
Yep.
But the fanboys have made me tired of it. They've taken all the excitement out of it with their bullshit.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, 4K 60, 4K to me is, I'm so sick of hearing 4K that it's like unreal. But I've said from jump, and Enrique, you've said this, take that extra power and make the games better.
I've been saying that for
deliver 1080 60. Like 4K is a buzzword.
Yeah,
that's the part that we're not gonna see. And that's the most disappointing part about this whole mid-gen. Reinvesting in consoles. It's like, yeah, it look better, but is Madden gonna be any better?
Nope.
You know what I mean? is 2K going to be any better? Are the legacy issues still going to be there? Yeah. So, if you're not going to take that power and really invest in the game and make the games better, then what are we doing here?
Right. And I'm sorry, there's an adage that always, that rings true. Is like you got to crawl before you can walk. And I don't know, you guys can tell me if it's happened. Have we nailed 1080 60?
No.
Nope.
So you're going to lead me to believe that you're going to jump right over that and nail 4K 60?
Nope.
I think we'll get that next console gen. I think we'll get it a little bit. We'll get a taste of it with the mid-gen upgrades, but I don't think. I think we'll really get a taste of it next console gen. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody's cracking me up, man.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, he's keep cracking me up in the chat there. Yeah. No, he says. I've said this, and this is I've said this to some people on DM, and some people have gotten mad at me for saying this. Not mad, but like what do you mean? That's crazy. And again, like we're not bashing Microsoft. We're not ponies. We don't hate Xbox. I own an Xbox. I've owned every Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason why I'm critical of them is because I'm a consumer. Because as a consumer, they're not giving me what I want. I spent $500 on the console, and I'm not really using it to play games. I'm using it for watching TV and Netflix and my WWE app, YouTube, but I'm not really using it for gaming right now.
It's funny. Back in 2013, that's what you were their target. That's what they wanted.
Yep.
Ironically enough,
but not for $500. Shit.
They're like, yo, it's about this TV joint, man.
And that's funny because I was okay with that, but I wanted the game to go along with it too. So
right.
Yeah.
I find that funny too, man. Yeah, you're right. It's not about bashing. It's like what people forget is, man, we're consumers first, and the companies are supposed to be here to make us happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems it's the other way around. It's like all these fans are like trying to like make the company men happy by getting follows on Twitter and being like, because I'm in this inner circle. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is also the detriment to the social media sphere. Is like everyone wants to be at the top of their kids' lunch table. And,
but I think that's awesome. But in big picture, though, Eric, I also think I understand, and I kind of agree. I do agree with what you're saying, but we also have to remember too, with regards to Twitter. I mean, that's such a small sample, of the greater gaming community too. I don't think all of them are like that. No. All gamers are like that. I mean, we're not.
No, not at all. Yeah. Not at all. No, I'm not saying at all. I'm just saying in that small bubble, it's loud. It's small, but it's loud. Mm-hmm. And but I know, like me personally, like I'm a consumer first, and I have no problem letting any product that I own, any manufacturer, know if I'm not happy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like I think you're more of a fan if you can give praise when it's due and be critical when it's due. It doesn't make you a bigger fan because you're not willing to say what's wrong.
Well, I always say this: you really can't be a true fan of something if you can't be critical of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can't point out the flaws, then you're not really a fan.
Right.
Yeah, I mean.
Right, and here's the thing too. I think like you look at our chat, I think they get it. No one's in there saying that we're being haters because we're talking this out. It's like a therapy group. We're talking out the things that we want to see, the things that we feel. And it may sound like at the moment like we're bashing Xbox, but I tell people all the time, you get people that say, "Well, you're not Xbox enough," and I'm like, bullshit. I've had 2 OGs, like 5 360s, 2 Xbox Ones. I think I'm good.
Shit.
So yeah. Don't tell me I'm not Xbox enough, because I think my game collection and I think all that stuff kind of speaks for itself, And the fact of the matter is, anyone who walked into the store and popped down their money and walked out with an Xbox or a PlayStation, they're enough for what they're doing because they bought into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, I do want to go to Red Dead Redemption before we wrap up tonight.
That garbage.
Yeah. That garbage. Yeah. By the way, great conversation. Anyone listening?
They going deep in the chat in here,
Yeah,
man.
man.
If you ain't in here, man, you're missing out because these guys is getting into that in the chat. So shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah. They are. Yeah. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. I was going to say that great conversation going on in the chat. And I would say this: if you want to listen to some intelligent gaming conversations, you got to come more frequently. You got to check us out more often. Join us every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. because this is what we do. We just have honest talk, honest conversation about the gaming industry, and games, and that's what we do here. So, Red Dead Redemption 2, John mentioned this a long time ago. Thought it was not going to come out this fall, and coming out spring 2018. With that announcement, it looks like Take-Two stock did go down a little bit. So if you're interested in buying Take-Two stock, now is the time to buy it because it will certainly go back up. When that game releases. Are you guys, anyone upset about this or any thoughts?
No, I'm not upset at all.
No, I knew it was coming.
Yep.
Plus, this gives me like more time to play Destiny, so I'm good.
And Persona 5, which
and Persona 5. You know what I mean? Because that takes like 100 hours of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many great games coming out this year that it's just like, yeah, we're missing, a really big one. But what does that say about, games releasing in the spring? Look how many great games we got that released this spring. You know what I mean? Now you throw Red Dead Redemption in there for next year. That's going to kick off the spring, and it's going to be pretty big. So
I'm with you there, man. Like a title like that, getting that later, like in the early part of next year, that's perfect.
Well, hold on. Stop the press here. Hold on. Novi knows.
Yeah.
I hated Red Dead 2. What? Are you kidding me?
Hey, I've heard other people say that, man.
Novi, come on, man. Red Dead had one of the best endings ever in a video game. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah, but you gotta like what Rockstar does. They're like, we know you're mad. But we're Rockstar. You can't stay that mad at us. Check out these screenshots.
Yeah, check out these beautiful screenshots.
Yeah.
While we sit on all our GTA money because we don't.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah.
We release the game when we want to. Y'all gonna buy it anyway.
Exactly.
How sick were those screenshots though?
Oh man,
beautiful.
And that's the crazy part. They can give you screenshots and you can't be mad because they'll deliver that. They'll deliver that. You can act like you're mad and
Yeah, they hit you with that screenshot. Like, yeah, hold that.
Yeah, check this out.
We see you in 9 months.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a bracelet. Like after like I know you mad, but here, check this bracelet.
Yeah. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. Babe.
Yeah. So no, I'm good. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
they're good for at least one delay.
Yeah.
it's already going to be crowded in the holidays anyway. So
Absolutely, Fastback. Absolutely.
Plus, man,
that's a good
it's
point,
perfect
Fastback.
because like Red Dead Redemption Online probably isn't going to release when the game releases. So then, like in the summer when the online releases, that'll be like another big surge for them, and they just can keep it rolling throughout the year until they can announce Borderlands 3 at E3, and then Borderlands will come out like the following spring, and everything will be right in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. So, speaking of other games, Far Cry 5. Did you guys see the artwork for this?
Oh man, I can't wait.
yeah,
So it looks like. So is this? This looks like it's basically it's a story of a militant Christian cult.
Mm-hmm.
That's
kind of look like that, like a cult, like a militia.
Oh, I can't remember the show. Damn it.
What show?
What was that big show? It was like a cult following that had I gotta look it up.
You talking about the people, the M's?
No.
You didn't get that joke.
Let me get it up. No, not those. Not those guys.
I just. Oh, by the way, that was a
Not
joke.
those
People.
purple guys. Not those purple guys.
That was a joke, people.
What's that family that protests military funerals or
I don't know, man.
Kevin Smith based that movie.
Oh,
Red State off
Nels
of
Cody said Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, there was a meme of Duck Dynasty as Far Cry.
Nels Cody's calling it the Waco, Texas game. Are you talking about
Yeah.
the Branch Davidians?
Hmm?
You talking about David remember that in the 90s in
Yeah.
Waco?
No, wait, well,
That
I
was
don't know.
Remember that happened? That was a real thing. That was like a Christian cult.
Yep.
Yeah, because remember the FBI went there, shot everyone up.
I think, man.
All right, so while Eric's thinking, so if you guys can find this on any gaming site. So Far Cry artwork introduces what the story's going to be about. It's going to be a militant Christian cult. I believe in the Midwest. I think that's the setting, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And not Wyoming, but Montana.
Oh, it's going to be Montana.
Yeah.
Mm.
Go
So it looks
figure.
like it's going to be an open world,
Go figure.
kind of like Ghost Recon. I can imagine seeing it like Ghost Recon, where you just have the freedom to run around and take care of this cult militia group.
You guys look at this artwork. Do you feel like there's obvious stereotypes here?
I just wanted there to be a black character on the cover.
No, I'm just saying, like, you look at.
No, I really did. Like, I wanted it to be like a black guy on the cover.
Well, maybe the character you're playing is a black. I thought I heard that your character is going to be a sheriff.
Yeah.
So
Did you guys ever watch The Following?
That's it. Cody
Oh,
said
yeah,
the Westboro Baptist Church is led
Yeah,
by Fred
that was a
Phelps.
good.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what
Kevin
this
Bacon.
reminds me of.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
If it's as good as that show was, we good to go.
Yeah. You guys familiar with the Westboro Baptist Church?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what that movie Red State was based off of. And they were like, like a militant religious cult type family or whatever.
Yeah.
So I could see this kind of being like a family that kind of like branches out, into like this whole big thing. Yeah. It's a really dope premise, man.
All-Star Gamer said Far Cry should have taken place in the hills of Pennsylvania or Virginia. Hold on, man. Not all Virginia. Well,
The Ozarks.
I could see Pennsylvania. That what he's talking about. They call it Pennsyltucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting, man. This could be some deep shit that they're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they really go for it, it could be crazy.
Yeah.
UB's always really just take the risk, man. I
Yeah.
hope they really push the envelope, man, and really go for it.
Yeah, like I want people to be like tweeting at them because they're so pissed off.
Yeah, me too.
That's the kind of game for real.
That's how you know it's good. I
Exactly.
mean, when you garner that attention from it, that's
Yep.
how you know you did your job.
I want them to make it on the Fox News. Go.
I mean, but what are they pissed off about? You have people out there like that.
Exactly.
That's, I mean,
You do. I mean,
And when they're pissed off, that means that you put the mirror up in front of them.
I want to say something, but I'm not gonna say it.
Say it, man. Let's get on Fox News.
No. I'm not gonna say it. I say it to my wife a lot, but I'm not gonna say it.
Like you remember, like the commentary, like what BioShock Infinite was trying to tell, like how it started off. It made you uncomfortable. Like wow,
Yeah.
Like I don't remember them catching like a lot of controversy over it, but it was one of those moments where it made you uncomfortable. Like things like this should make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What, cults?
That's what I want to feel when I play it, though. I want to, you know what I mean, come out of it and, have some stuff on my mind.
Yeah,
that's how the Fallen was. It was like, damn,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy.
You know what's weird? Persona 5 had that effect on me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've heard Persona 5 had some moments in it where you're like, what?
No, it just had me thinking about like, yeah, but then it had me thinking like, oh, I wonder what my persona looks like. Weird shit. I know. Tell you, I like wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, my persona. I'm like, what the fuck am I saying? It's a video game.
Yeah, man.
This game does look like Duck Dynasty though.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. You know what's weird is they have the guy there. He's like he's got his hands tied behind his back and he has Sinner written on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. See what Nell said? Good storytelling makes you feel uncomfortable. It's absolutely true.
That's
You know?
absolutely true.
Like, it shouldn't, like, if it makes you mad, it might be something that you have to ask yourself, like, why is this making me mad? But uncomfortable is a whole different thing. It makes you, you know, think about something. Like, wow, you know. And then being ballsy makes you kind of like, wow, I can't believe they went there.
So Novi Dove said that no game has ever had him really question life like Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 1 what was a little out there, man.
He said when he beat the game,
when you play it all the way
Illuminati.
through. Yeah, when you play it all the way through, and you see what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, Novi.
Yeah, that's a good point, Novi. Yeah, he googled the Illuminati. You're right. That's it because these are good examples because like Nelson, like these games pull you in. There's also things that happen to you subconsciously, you know, that maybe connect with you that you're not maybe aware of. You know, that may cause you to wake up in the middle of the night and think these, like me, the Persona thing. You know, or think about, like the one thing with Persona 2, it made me think about, the establishment. I don't want to get too much deep. I don't want to spoil it. Maybe think about people that are in positions of power and how they've used that power.
Right. Right.
And how some of us are just, in some ways, we're just complacent to it. Like, oh, it's the norm. But it's a subconscious thing. It's really, I don't want to get too much into Persona 5, but it got me thinking about those things.
Yeah,
that's good, man. It's not often that a game gets you thinking about something. Most times you just kind of go through it and you're like, what did I just play?
Yeah.
Or somebody asks you about it later, like, what was it about? It's like, I honestly don't remember. I was going through the motions. It's like when you leave the house, in your car and you get to your destination, like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
There are a lot of games that put you on autopilot.
It's like GTA 5. They had some stuff that would go on in there that kind of questioned current events. And also the torture scene in there. People were like, whoa.
Let me ask, how uncomfortable would you guys feel in that torture scene?
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man.
I mean, I felt like I was doing something wrong.
What, in GTA 5?
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't experienced it.
Oh, shit, we just spoiled it for Eric.
No, I've heard about it before.
This game came out last console, man.
That's all right, man. They still play me.
No, I'm not mad at you saying that because I've heard other people talk about it. But no,
they don't need Eric's money, man. They good.
No, they're good. I mean, I have the game. I just haven't gotten to that point in it. But even when I do, if it's that uncomfortable, it's still gonna probably resonate with me.
Yeah.
But like the thing with video games too, though, is that they are. But I've said this before. I mean, and you guys I think would all agree with this that. Video games are an expression of life. It's expression of art, but they also address issues in society, much the way movies and TV and music do. So it's not surprising that we have these feelings or these thoughts because, like GTA 5, I mean, even when Trevor kind of like goes on his like rampage where everything goes slow motion and he like screams or growls, that was a little uncomfortable for me. I'm like, like I'm in the mind of a maniac.
Yeah.
Like they give you that perspective of this guy who like everything and he's like, oh,
This is why like a lot of people are still sleeping on this game, but I'm so interested to play Hellblade when that releases because they're diving into the whole mental illness. That's what that game is about. So to kind of see the perspective of a character that has mental illness and what the psychosis that they go through, it's gonna be very interesting. So,
and that's a big issue in life.
Yep,
probably one of the biggest.
You know about depression or
just mental issues that why people do things and they're not getting help.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, like Cody 2 said, we actually talked about this, the airport level in COD.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
There were people that legit couldn't do it. Like, this is too much. No,
it was pretty. Like, it made me think: should I be doing this?
Right. Yeah. Flipped it on its ear. You weren't used to being on that side of it. You're used to defending it in video games, but you're not used to being on that side of it.
Yeah, and they did catch some heat for it. I mean, Grand Theft Auto's always called heat for kind of pushing the envelope. But in a lot of ways, I mean, if you think about it, what they're showing, what they're portraying is often what is what we maybe not all of us see, but it's out there. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I would want to go back to live chat. This live chat is, by the way, awesome tonight. So everyone in the live chat, thank you again. Novino wants to know, he hasn't played Persona at all. Where should I start? I mean, he wants to know if it's one of these series you can go back to the beginning. You actually, you don't have to go back to. You don't have to play any previous Personas. You can just jump into Persona 5 and completely get what's going on.
Yeah, every story is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You play with different characters and stuff like that. So
Kind of like a Final Fantasy.
yeah.
Really doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously they all have personas and stuff. That's the same, but yeah. So every the live chat said that the shit got real deep. No, it did.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, remember when that hot coffee was like the thing? The hot coffee mod in G.
Oh yeah.
That was like the worst thing ever in video games. Now you look at it, it's like you laugh at it, like wow.
Dude, let me tell you something. I'll never forget when I was playing GTA 5 online, and I was in a party. I was playing co-op or something. I was riding around with one of my friends on Xbox Live, and you would see like you would see other characters, like not characters but other people, in the city walking around. Sometimes people try to rob you and stuff. Some guy walking around with a mask and underwear trying to rob me. I'm like, who is this idiot? Like, what is wrong? Like, it just that's what it made me think. Like, there's some people who got some issues in the real world, Like, there was another guy. We pulled up to an alleyway, had his car parked. He's with a hooker. We're like, what?
Yeah, I remember GTA 3 playing that, and all I was doing was like picking up hookers, taking them, banging them, killing them. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait. I was like, what is this saying about my psyche at the moment where this is what I'm doing in this game? And it started making me uncomfortable. I was like, I gotta stop doing this because it's like the fact that I can do this in a game is insane.
Well, let me ask you: does this stuff? And then I don't want to ask this because this is going to take us down a different conversation. I was going to my question was going to be: do these things kind of desensitize us? But that's like we could go. That could be like another hour conversation. Yeah. So maybe maybe for another time. So, so that's Far Cry 5. It looks like Duck Dynasty. Sony has.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some information Friday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll get some information Friday. More
They're
information.
going to reveal. Yeah.
They're gonna reveal the game on Friday.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll see Friday. What was I going to say? Damn, I forgot. Sony has the marketing for this game too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Sony's got the marketing for all these games. This shit is crazy.
Well, we know Xbox has Assassin's Creed, right?
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the Crew? The Crew 2, which
I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything either.
Right. I was thinking about that, talking about the Crew 2, and I know a lot of people saying who was asking for that game, but UB has this. You know how they do. They'll release a game, they take the beating on it, it doesn't move people, and then they come back, and it becomes one of their best franchises.
Watch the Crew 2 be like something amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about it.
Yeah, I mean? So I said I'm gonna pull up on that. I'm hitting on the Crew 2, kind of see what they deliver.
Yeah,
But how all these fanboys crying about the Xbox. They Ubisoft kind of goes back and forth because I think Xbox had Division and Ghost Recon. I think Assassin's Creed goes back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And
Assassin's Creed goes back and forth because they
Far Cry hasn't Far Cry always been with Sony or traditionally, or
actually no. I think Far Cry,
it was
Far Cry 3.
game.
I think Far Cry 3 was with Microsoft, but I know PlayStation had 4.
Yeah.
And now they have 5. Yeah. So
I just think that the Ubisoft they share they go back and forth.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
But Sony they're killing it on the market. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
They I don't know what Xbox is doing with that. Is it Aaron Greenberg in charge of marketing?
Yeah, he is, but
Well, they're not. I mean, but they're also not like. Yeah, I think Phil's mentioned they're not really doing that anymore, right?
Spending the money on the.
They're not. Yeah.
You won't see the big third party like marketing deals and stuff, but you will see like third party like published games by Microsoft. And we'll see that at E3. You know what I mean? There'll be more games and they'll definitely even it up a little bit, but you won't see like the big AAA games being marketed by Microsoft as heavily as they were, you know what I mean, in the past.
Like I thought Halo 5 was marketed big, but I thought Titanfall, the first Titanfall, was marketed very good. I mean, they had commercials.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best marketing deals they've had this gen so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. They definitely don't do it like they did on the 360.
Well, yeah. I mean, but they, I mean, how much of that is them not being the market leader right now too?
I don't know, man. Maybe so much of the budget went into Scorpio. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows? I mean, it's interesting how it's kind of flip flopped this console gen.
I mean, they still got the possibility of throwing Splinter Cell out there, man. So
I'm hoping, man.
I'm hoping. Shoot them too bad. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be there.
We can't forget that Conviction was a 360 exclusive.
True.
You know what I mean? So, and then Black List came out after that. So they could
That's
follow
another
it up
Ubisoft too.
With if they get Splinter Cell, show it off on Scorpio, that'll be a big win for them.
Yep.
But I mentioned this to you guys in the DM, but they a lot of people took Phil's comments about the single player games out of context, and the two major games that they have marketing rights on are single player games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? Everybody's saying they won't have any single player games. Well, there you go. They're marketing two of the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we did. We talked about that in DM, and I think Enrique, you and I talked about this too. And I said it's interesting. A lot of the fanboys were saying like, you guys are all overreacting and taking Phil's comments out of context. I'm like, some of you might be too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like real talk. Phil again may not be saying that single player is completely dead. It's just the way you think about your approach to it may have to change. Because think about it. The minute Deus Ex, Mass Effect, Hitman were talked about, fanboys see Phil's comments, what Phil had to say, see, and it's kind of like, yeah, but at the same time, nobody jumped out there when the NPDs dropped, and you had like Persona 5, Zelda, even Mass Effect in the top.
Yeah,
top 10, right?
Yeah.
So I saw that and I was just like, shut up.
Yeah.
So no, it's like, yeah. I don't know. People were just immediately jumping out there to the defense of Phil.
Yeah, and he did say, but both multiplayer and single player are important.
Yeah.
And I will say Xbox needs to have a single player game that resonates, that will sell consoles. Because to me, Horizon Zero Dawn has done that.
Mm-hmm.
It's brought me over quicker than I probably normally would have, but because No Man's Sky was gonna be that game for me, but Horizon Zero Dawn, it's like I gotta play that.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Uncharted 4, and I'm just like amazed. I'm like,
Uncharted 4 is beautiful, man.
But but that's the thing. When you're a gamer, it's like, true. Not everybody can, go and pick up every console. Not everybody has that ability, right? So you rock with what you have, and most people are good with that. But as a gamer, I'm talking about the people that go, well, I can't rock with Xbox because it's bullshit or blah 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 blah, or I can't rock with Sony because blah, blah 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 blah. And it's sort of like if you're like a gamer, even if you can't afford it, you look at certain things, you go, damn, I wish I could rock on that. There's something that pulls you, it calls you to it, like. And if you have the ability to do it, you're like, I'm gonna jump on that because I have to play that.
It's like what B Money has said in the past. Like, they put out these games, because they want to get people to buy those consoles or buy the console.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a good job of that. they potentially have people potentially lined up now to buy their next console they come out with for Horizon Zero Dawn 2. You know,
Right.
but you know but how many times have they done that over the last couple console generations? You know, putting out games that you want to come back and play. You know, new characters, new experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that's
They've done
important.
it every one of their gens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 360 did that in the early part.
Yeah.
I mean, they were killing it with some new IP, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely.
Xbox has done okay this so far, but like I would say Forza Horizon has been the big one for Xbox this gen so far. They've knocked it out of the park.
That's definitely been their golden ticket, man. But they're still looking for that big boy to take center stage.
Yeah.
I mean, make a name for itself. They just haven't had that yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we see it this year's E3 or hopefully next year's E3. But you know, we've been waiting a little while, waiting on that next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I think people want it. I think people want it. Some people are afraid to admit it, but I think people want it. You know, and I always say this: like, if I'm getting it on console A, why can't I get it on console B?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems to be like blasphemous to even, you know, go with the notion that maybe, you know, Halo and Gears have both seen their better day. And it's not saying that those properties aren't valuable or still have like a following, but you know, you also have to do some things to kind of, you know, bring in new audiences, because those are spanning what, a decade now?
Yeah.
Halo a little bit longer than Gears, but still, it's like, and they're not wildly different than what they were, you know, from last gen to now. Not saying that they have to be radically different, but maybe you branch it off into a different, you know, area of the franchise or whatever. And fine, you know, I know you got like Halo Wars 2. That's not what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm saying. It's like, take it in a different direction. Try something different with it. I think it's been played a bit too safe. And no, we've talked about this 1,000 times when it comes to something like Gears of War. And people are like, well, you know, they played it safe with the Coalition. And it's like, and I used to kind of go, yeah, that's true. But then I'm thinking back, I'm going to walk that back, because A, the Coalition had Rod Ferguson.
Yep.
Knows all about Gears. And the Coalition, it seems to be a very capable studio. So if they really wanted to push and try something different, they could have. But I think they were too afraid of shaking up the fan base or whoever, you know, is still there. But I think they're also paying for it, you know, by Gears kind of being where it is right now. Now, that's not saying that it did bad. We don't know what those numbers are. I'm just saying, it's not. You can obviously tell it's not the juggernaut it once was.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Halo 6 is going to be the last as far as Master Chief story. And I think it would be time for 343 to kind of move on. Either a new IP or expand into the Halo universe.
Yeah.
And then the same thing for Gears. You know, it looks like they're going to have to do maybe two more to finish off that trilogy. Maybe. And then, you know, they need to do. I like to see 343 and Coalition go the route of the way Turn 10 did. They brought in Playground. They brought us, and they worked on another part of Forza to get, you know, not, you know, because, you know, Forza Motorsport is for hardcore, you know, people that like that kind of racing. Now you got the casuals who can come in and hit Forza Horizon. They just want to relax, have fun. So I want to see some innovation like that on 343 and Coalition.
Yeah, because I said, imagine if you had like a Mass Effect type RPG in the Halo universe.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That could be bananas, right?
Amazing.
Or I said, if you took Gears and you did like a Splinter Cell assassin type Gear, you know, who's kind of sent in on like his own rogue missions type thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's different things you can do, but you know, again, you know, I don't want to be armchair journalist or developer or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just throwing it out there as a fan of.
No, I mean, you gotta be real. I mean, it's you know, the Halo and Gears cannot go on forever. So
right. Yeah, I know we've got into like arguments about like Marcus. It's like Marcus should have died. I throw that out there, and it's like, No.
They should have just ended the game with them passing on, man. I gotta be. Because now, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be like 90-year-old Marcus, and it's gonna be so annoying, man. Just like, let's be done with that.
Get my cane.
No, but I've argued. I think Sam was saying that's like an old trope to do that. I'm like, yeah, but sometimes it's a necessary trope, and it's a trope that's happened in movies for generations. You know, you need to give the new protagonist a motivation.
Yeah.
You have this animosity between Marcus and JD. If Marcus dies and that's unsettled, think about how that pushes JD forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's what's happening in Star Wars.
Exactly. But it just seemed like, well, we can't move forward without Marcus because everybody loves Marcus. It's like, yeah, but the things we love go away sometime.
You know what they should have done? They should have killed him off the first scene.
It's just like somebody like.
I mean, think about that, because think about this. You coming into that game, you're like, oh, Marcus is here. You know, this is great. You know, and imagine if they killed him out. We'd be like, oh shit, they didn't just do that,
right?
And you'd probably in your mind be thinking, man, I need to figure out what's going to happen next in this game now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get when that snatcher got him, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill this dude. Kill him. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying, man. It's like, you know, you want us to rock with JD and his new crew. You kind of have to like give the reins over to him. Yeah. And I really thought that's what they were going to do with Halo 5. That marketing campaign, that marketing campaign was way better than that game could ever be.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, what Locke and Chief are about to get busy, and then nothing.
Yeah,
you know. And I still say, I don't think Locke was a horrible character. I don't think he could have been
Nope.
I don't think he was a horrible character to possibly give the franchise over to. You just didn't give him purpose.
You look like R. Kelly.
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
When he looked like bald R. Kelly, when R. Kelly looked like Aaron Hall.
Or he looks like Luke Cage. You can say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He look like Luke Cage.
Wonder why.
Yeah, right?
But I think that whole, you know, Team Osiris thing could have been dope.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when I like watching him on that show, Eric. It's like he's what's his face on Halo.
Who?
He just
Locke, yeah. Like he's like, I don't know. He's like his movement and stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, man. If your focus wasn't on making sure the multiplayer was bananas, and put more of that focus into like really fleshing out that campaign, you could have had a whole new team that people would have been ready to rock with.
Should have had him singing R&B. I'm sorry.
Chasing behind 14-year-olds.
Oh, Shaw.
I'm sorry.
That's terrible, man.
Okay, maybe
that is terrible, man.
We need to set it down.
That is terrible. Seems like you're ready. There some comedian said that about him, R. Kelly.
I give my wife like the douche chill like all the time. Like if we're riding, an R. Kelly song comes on, like seems like you're ready. I'm like, you know, that's for a 14-year-old, right? She's like, stop.
Oh.
Like, that song takes on a whole new meaning now, right? She's like, oh, that's horrible.
Hey, by the way, Novino caught the Aaron Hall reference.
Aaron Hall, man. Oh,
who does come on, Aaron Hall? Spartan Lock actually did look like Aaron Hall more than anyone else.
He used to work out at my gym.
Aaron Hall did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he lives down here.
Was Teddy Riley there?
I ain't see Teddy Riley.
Black 585 in the live chat says, bring back Steel Battalion with the big controller. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't know if that's going to happen with development. That was a bold that was a bold move last console gen. Or not last console gen, for the Xbox back in the days. You had to do that. That game was like $200. Was it like $200?
Yeah, $200, and at a time when, yeah. That thing's crazy. It wasn't even like the money. It was like, where do you put it?
That's where they did it back then. Go big or go home.
Right?
The Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, fast. That was a whole different era of game.
By the way, hey, Chicken Spaghetti wants to know, did Aaron Hall work at Globo Gym alongside Ben Stiller?
Because at Global Gym, we're better than you. We know it. Yeah, back then, to get that controller, you had to get your cousin's truck.
Yeah.
Like, I got to run my game time to get this controller.
You had to have like an office desk.
For real, man.
I know, 'cause when I went from PS2 and then I got me an OG Xbox and I got that, I was like, what the hell?
Wait, you had Steel Battalion?
No. I'm talking about the Duke controller.
Yeah.
You know, going from
Duke
PS2 to
That Duke controller. That was dangerous, man.
Yeah,
I
the
was like-
controller was like 2 baked potatoes with a controller cord sticking out of it.
It looked like Mr. Potato Head. Yeah.
That thing was massive, man.
Yeah. Well, so Black 585 says he loved, not Mech Assault. Shit, what was it?
Battalion.
Thank you. Still Italian.
Yeah, I never played it. Never got around to playing that.
No. I never played it. It was,
maybe they'll bring it back for VR.
Do you guys think that? You guys think they're gonna show VR on the stage at E3?
Yep. I think so.
I'm hoping that the beginning, like, you know how like last year, I thought how they revealed the S was pretty good. They did in the beginning. I'm hoping that this is what they do for the Scorpio. Maybe the first 20, 30 minutes, show the Scorpio. And then if they want to show a little bit of the VR with the Scorpio, say, look, this is what we got. You can, but keep it within maybe the first 30 minutes and then maybe a whole hour of just games. Because Phil has said they want to concentrate on games. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. 30 minutes is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They got
It
90
is.
minutes, so
Yeah.
they still have to show Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay.
They did
And
what,
Forza.
15 minutes on the S?
Yeah.
It's about 15. So maybe if they keep the, Scorpio about
have to
15
keep it
minutes.
A 15-minute window,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, but they can show the VR stuff. Is a PC going to be at E3 like it was last year? You know how they showed, PC games and.
Yeah, they have the PC gaming show.
So maybe they're going to maybe do the VR stuff for Xbox there.
Yeah, that's possible.
They should just completely like rip off Nintendo and call it like the Xbox Treehouse. Come back for like demos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. VR just does not show well on stage.
No.
It's the same thing with like 4K. I mean, it's hard to like demonstrate that to everybody,
That's right.
So a lot of people sitting there watching it on their phone or, whatever. They're not getting that full benefit or seeing really what the difference is.
Yeah, because Xbox tried to do that where they showed the regular X1 playing Forza Horizon. They showed the S, and then I think they showed it on PC. But
Yeah. That's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure the rest of the week we're going to get some more. Have you noticed how some of these devs are now? They're showing their games now, like Far Cry 5. They're going to show it Friday. The reveal. You think they're doing this to get ahead of the leaks?
I think Ubisoft is doing this because they ain't got no choice. If you watch Ubisoft's show last year, that thing was a bore fest.
Yeah.
That was a terrible.
I was at the show, like,
Well, you were at that conference?
yeah, and the Orpheum Theater. Man, we got up and walked out.
Wow, you left?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember me saying that? Like they were falling asleep?
You were falling asleep, B?
You mean
Falling asleep.
that VR and the Star Trek wasn't exciting?
Hell no. Ubisoft ain't got no choice. If they don't keep their show interesting, they would be the laughing stock of E3.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I still can't believe
They better not show no birds flying around in VR. They better not show no goofy I don't want to see none of that. Show me South Park. Let me get the Assassin's Creed. Show me some Splinter Cell. You know what I mean? Show me the Far Cry. Let me see what this crew game is about.
Oh man,
Give me one new IP in there because they always do it for a new IP, and I'm good, man. Like show me some, something small like the Child of Light and stuff like I did before with Child of Light and you know what I mean. Show me something like that. I'm good. I'm Gucci. Your show is amazing. But you start boring me with some Star Trek VR and some birds flying around, like I don't talk about none of that.
it's like you're a pigeon in New York. And
Shitting on cars that just came out of the car wash.
exactly, that's the whole objective of the game.
I'll play that.
We gotta have you in Debo's pigeon cage.
Like I don't want to see none of that. Like,
Nah.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, whether it's
that's like
Xbox,
they got the Mario Rabbids crossover, so like it's easy for them to show off that, like show their like their relationship with Nintendo and the games they're bringing to the Switch. So they got a little bit of a cushion because they got some great stuff coming. But if they start boring us, man, it's gonna be a problem for them.
I tell you what, man, I'm gonna lose my shit. Whoever comes in from a dark room and all you hear is that night vision goggle sound fire up.
Oh yeah, hey, it's over.
That's out, man.
You know what I mean? That's all I need to hear. All I need to hear is that.
And yeah,
You think they'd reveal that at Ubisoft or at Xbox?
They're gonna do it at Xbox.
They have to do it at Xbox.
They're gonna,
Like, that got to be one of like their aces in the hole, man.
They're gonna close it out with that game, and everyone's gonna go nuts.
mm-hmm.
And all it's gonna be is that sound.
That's all they do.
You either close it or you open the show with it.
It's
No,
gonna,
you got to close it. Just say one more thing. Hit us with the sound. Put the goggles up on the screen and just say 2018. You ain't got to say nothing else. We Gucci.
Yeah.
Yep. Those the three dots.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
with Michael Ironside back as Sam Fisher's voice.
Oh man,
I would love that.
Go insane.
Yeah.
Go insane.
I'm telling you, man, I might need oxygen at that point. There's moments that they can still get people hype. You just got to do it the right way, man. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Or like
like Chicken said,
have somebody walk out of the shadow.
Chicken
and
said
then
it's gonna be some furniture moving.
Shout to my man Chicken, because it's gonna be some thank bangers in the building, man. Thank bangers all day.
Chicken has coined a phrase.
That's right,
Thank-a
man.
banger.
Shout out to Chicken real quick. I love his positive attitude.
Yeah, man.
Twitter, and I'm there with him. Like I told him, I'm an objective person. I'm in the middle. I'm not too negative. I'm not too positive. I always like to say my Xbox batteries are half full. We'll see. You know.
Yeah, Chicken keeps it positive, man.
He does. I like
we
that.
having like a bad day on Twitter. I'm sure that sounds so stupid to say a bad day on Twitter because all you gotta do is turn your damn phone off. But just to see a negativity, you know, you get a handful of dudes who just kind of keep it moving, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Chicken, man, there's a possibility they could throw it out there and be exclusive, man. They did have Conviction. A lot of people forget that.
Conviction was exclusive.
That was exclusive, man. So it's a possibility.
I would say, like, out of all the games that they could yank into an exclusivity deal, Splinter Cell could be one because it's a game that does well, but it doesn't do like huge.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it definitely has like this Xbox like allegiance almost in a way. Because actually, people couldn't even remember if Blacklist was on PS3. You know. Yeah. So yeah.
What about you think you might see maybe a Perfect Dark?
That's what I heard.
That's
reboot?
rumors. Yeah, that's rumors.
It's rumors. I think if they do have Perfect Dark will probably be held for Gamescom. Because if they're gonna do a show, they kind of gotta host some cards for Gamescom.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to see it at E3, but I think, if you got that, man, I hold that one because that one can be big too, man. It came right after GoldenEye, you know what I mean? Still had that crazy, the original one, you know what I mean? Still had that crazy fun multiplayer, for people. If they can bring that stuff back, bring the fun back to that multiplayer, they might have something on their hand.
Well, like Rare is a big studio. I know Sea of Thieves is coming out, but I can't imagine that they're going to have everybody working on Sea of Thieves I mean, that's
Right.
coming out soon, so
Yeah.
they have to be working on something else.
Mhm.
So, and I know that Lord Cognito and Classy had a show earlier yesterday
Yeah,
talking about Fable.
I gotta go back and listen to that. But yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah.
And speaking of you guys, like truly, Fable could be coming back.
Oh, it's coming back.
I don't think it comes back this year.
No, not this year.
But
No, not yet, probably not
like
this
B
year,
was
but-
saying, hopefully at the end of this E3 they have like a teaser and they show, look, this game, this is what you're gonna look forward to going to 18. Wait, look, let's see some more at Gamescom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like what they did in 13.
Mhm.
They showed some stuff that was coming out current, and then Gamescom was for the what's going on next year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I don't think at this point, I don't think Phil's going to let anything like that happen again to where they announce something too soon.
Yeah.
But all you need is a little roadmap.
Yep. Just give me just put some dots on my map, man, so I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
But I tweeted.
They cannot do what they did this year again.
No.
They can't.
But I tweeted like I was kind of disappointed when I went to PAX South. I want to see Xbox, Sony, and them kind of come out to those shows. Well, no, Sony's doing right with the PSX. I would like to see Xbox expand on their X Fan Fest
Mhm.
and do a PSX like type show. In
too,
the holidays. Right before the holidays.
Me too.
Yep.
Get people excited and sell some consoles in the holidays and something to look forward to in next following year.
Yeah. Gamers don't want free burritos; they want games.
No, no.
Hey, but Bethesda, we will take a free beer and free turkey legs, so keep those on deck.
You said that was
My
lit.
boy's gonna
You
eat
said that was
them.
lit, right?
Yeah, man.
How good was that party?
It was amazing. Best E3 Bethesda holds the best parties out of any publisher, any platform holder. Bethesda keeps it a buck. You know what I mean? If you want to go to a great party from a gaming publisher, Bethesda's the one to go to.
Wow.
Live bands, all you can drink. You know what I mean? Turkey legs, candy bar. You know what I mean?
Were they were there any Thanga bangers there?
There was some thanga bangers there, man.
They party like Vikings.
Yeah, hey, that's how I like it.
Vikings.
Let's do it, man.
It's like
Yeah,
some
man. Turkey legs and mead.
Everybody there, you know, we got a lot of people there. Bethesda parties is where you want to be. And I heard this. I'm kind of salty that I'm not going this year, man. Y'all know, just had another kid, so priorities plus E3 is like a week of my other kid's birthday. So I missed her birthday last year. I promised I wasn't gonna do it to him this year. But I heard that this year's party is gonna be even more bananas.
wow.
So, you know what I mean? It's
Who's going from the team?
Wood is going, Nico's going, and some writers from the website are going. So I'm looking forward to hearing, all the good times that they had at E3. But I would definitely be there next year. You can hold me to that.
Yeah,
I'm sure Nick is going to be wearing his crown.
Yeah.
That's how I spotted him at PAX South. I'm walking somewhere with my daughter, and then I saw that crown coming down. I was like, "Oh shit, there's a King of Indies."
Nice, man.
Nice. All right, gentlemen. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the podcast. Hey, big shout out to everyone in the live chat again, by the way. A few of you guys have hung around since the start of the podcast, a little bit after 9:00. So we're almost at like 3 hours. So thank you so much.
Wow.
And to some of the newer folks that looks like Novi, I don't think you may have listened to the show before, but we haven't seen you in the live chat. Thank you for stopping by. And Black 585, thank you for stopping by.
Oh man, shout out to Cody, man. He said they're using all their money on the parties instead of bug testing.
Yeah, no, I had to throw meat out there, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on that, though, bro.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? If they're spending all that money on, instead of spending all that money on parties, well, I can't even talk now. That's how tired I am.
Yeah, sleepy.
Yeah, I'm sleepy. Basically, you should be taking that money and work on new game engines so we don't get ham face anymore.
No more hand faces, man. Hashtag no more hand faces, man.
I don't want your character models to look like meat at Subway. It's got that blue tint to it.
You know, like that Crisco skin.
No. Oh man, that's too funny. So, yeah, big shout out again to everyone in the live chat. Hey, remember if you haven't liked, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't subbed yet, give us a sub. We're almost at 500 subs now, so
Nice.
yeah, keep on, keep showing us the love, and we appreciate all the support.
Did Frankie jump in the chat?
No, yeah, Frankie. Yeah.
What's up, Frankie?
Frankie, I did not pick up the Surge yet. That is definitely on the list. I'm hearing great things about it, man. Shout out to Focus Home Interactive. They put that game out. They got some things coming up, man. So definitely check them out, man. One of the stuff-on devs and publishers that is out there today. So
Putting out a thing banger, huh?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Frankie, thanks for stopping in and saying hello. Always a pleasure to see you. And we're gonna go ahead and call it an evening, gentlemen. Thank you. Big shout out to Sam who couldn't make it this evening. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everyone have a great Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So so we'll catch everyone next week. Thank you again, guys. And unless anyone has anything else they want to say, no, going once, twice.
No, we're good, man. We see y'all next week.
Yeah, next week, peeps.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
And we'll have R. Kelly on the show next week.
With his 14-year-old dating sim that's coming to VR.
That's terrible, Eric. That is terrible, man. That is terrible.
And golden showers.
Oh,
Off the podcast. All right.
That's DLC fest, man.
Good night, everyone. Good night.